guilty of crime.
Hello, everybody. What's up? Happy Wednesday. Happy midweek. Oh, my goodness. This case is just swirling all last night, all today. And I want to try to get you guys up to date with the things that are happening right now that hopefully you haven't seen yet. Or if you think you heard what the manifesto is or you've seen a portion of it, think again because it's not out there. The whole thing is not out there. But what's out there is a partial of it, and the whole thing did play on hidden true crime. So, hello, welcome everybody. Come on in, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. We need to get to the 20,000 followers. That way we can make it a really good 2024. We'll go out with a bang, right? Hello, people. What's up, man? I know you guys have been probably just listening to all the things, and I come on here because this topic, Luigi Mangione. I'm going to straight up say it. I'm going to straight up ask, do you think he's a hero or a villain? Now, it's a 50-50 split in my life. I've got like I said, I'm a COO of a mechanical engineering company, and I've got engineers fighting with me saying that Luigi is a hero. He's starting this revolution. And then I got other people telling me it's not even the right guy. You guys got the wrong guy. There's no way that's the right guy because XYZ. Okay. So what I'm going to do is say hello. Hopefully people start coming in. I'll do a quick intro just to give you guys an idea of what's happening. But I also am going to tell you that if you didn't know that they actually started meme crypto for this guy. So I'm going to go over all the other things as well, but they actually started a crypto and it's worth, I'm going to get into the details of the worth, but if you guys are not into crypto, you might consider being now, even if you don't, I don't even know if it's something that you guys are going to believe in or not, but it's real interesting that they've got crypto out there that's worth a ton of money in Luigi's name, and it's hashtag free Luigi. So it's like crazy. R. Adam says, that's a good question. I've seen both. Me too. And me too. And the reason, Kristen Perry, I'm going to start off with giving a prayer to Brian Thompson. I'm going to go over real quick who he is, who he was before we get going. Yes, Foxy Amazon. I'm going to get into it. I'm not going to tell you yet because I don't want you guys to run off. And yeah, there's no, when you see this, Kristen, it's amazing and it's crazy how people are thinking. And no matter what I say, it's not justified for them. It's really weird. So yeah, in my opinion, you take a life, you're a villain, right? Nope, not today. But when you hear both sides of the story, it's up to you guys to figure out. I'm not going to chastise anybody in the chat, or as long as you stay respectful. If you want to tell me, hey, Jay, you got the wrong guy, it's not him because of this, or hey, Jay, he's a hero because of this. I'm going to entertain what you say and just take it as your opinion. He's a villain. I don't care what the motive was. We don't know. You don't go kill someone. We know that. I'm 45 years old. Many of you guys are within my age range or older. And the people that are doing this, there's a lot of youngsters that are doing this, which is really interesting. It's really interesting. I'm glad, Kristen, that you can't wait to hear more, because this is a controversial topic right now. When I'm fighting my coworkers at work that are engineers, and they're telling me, Jay, you got the wrong guy. And Jay, he's a freaking hero. What do I say to that except for doing my report on it? That's what I say. And what I say is we're going to start off with all about United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, so we can pay some respect to him. And then we're going to get into the freaking crypto and the dressing up, the contests of people dressing up, and the things that are happening are outrageous. All right. So yeah, I want you, as more people come in, you guys can go and chat. Yes, we're going to hear more. Princess Mish, I agree. I agree with you. And but there's some people that will come in here. Yes, the vigilantes. That's right. This isn't Batman. I agree. And our Adam, it is difficult to see both sides, but I'm seeing both sides, and I'm seeing. I mean, these people are just outrageously putting their money on the line, putting their many things on the line. Yeah, it is scary. It's scary also because it's scary because to me it's so apparent that it was Luigi Mangione. How do you have a whole group of people that are trying to give him an alibi? I mean, I know it's silly and everything, and they're saying, "Oh, he was with me," and they're photoshopping him into their pictures. But what is going on with this? What is going on with this? You got this Daniel Penny guy that's saving people's lives on the New York subway, and he's getting charged. And then you got a guy that executed Brian Thompson, and people are saying he's not guilty. All right, so it's really very interesting, the world that we live in today. And if we didn't all have opinions, it wouldn't be America, right? All right, so all about United Healthcare CEO Brian, who was shot dead in the US. All right, so Brian Thompson, we know all about Luigi, but Brian graduated from University of Iowa with a bachelor's degree in business administration in 1997, and he was a multimillionaire. So, Wednesday morning, as we know, New York incident occurred before 7 a.m. at a Manhattan hotel. News agency reported the 50-year-old was found in an unconscious state with a gunshot wound in the chest. He was rushed to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. As we know, Luigi fled the scene and authorities are on the hunt for him. They now have him, right? So they're looking for a hoodie, black pants, and a mask with the trim, and they're thinking all along it's a vet gun. Why was everybody thinking it's a vet gun? Is it because are they thinking it's a vet gun because they don't know about ghost guns and they don't know that you can 3D print them? Tom and Haneker, I agree. This is why we do the channel that we do, because murder is murder. There's no two sides. It wasn't self-defense. They're also saying that pain can cause you to do things like that. So they're doing whole studies on it. It's really crazy. What's up, Pepper? How you doing? Good to see you again, Princess Mish, who's the next CEO of big corporation. Right, right. If you condone that and you praise that, then what's next? What's next? Flossie says hello to everybody. You guys do me a favor. We're in December, third into December, almost halfway in, and it would be awesome if you guys could help me get to 20,000. And if you have the means to super chat, super sticker, or get yourself a membership. And also, I have links below: Cash App, PayPal, and Venmo. I appreciate you guys. My internet's going really slow today. It's crazy. It's going to be interesting when the jury is picked, unless he takes a plea deal. You guys, he's not saying he didn't do it. As a matter of fact, right before I started the show, I was talking to Bree, and she sent me this I don't even know what it was. It was an article talking about YouTube and Luigi posting on YouTube what all happened, and it's supposed to come out on December 11th, but it didn't. Stay tuned. All right, let's get into Brian Thompson real quick. Say a prayer for him. Hit the like button if you want to see complete and utter justice in this case. And what does justice mean? What's it going to mean? So Brian was 50 years old, CEO of United Healthcare. We'll talk about the downfall and the downfalls and the flaws of United Healthcare, because we know there's a lot of them. So it's the largest private healthcare in the U.S., overseeing an overseeing company with revenues exceeding $371 billion in 2023. All right, so Brian Thompson, we talked about bachelor's degree and a millionaire. Thompson had a career spanning 20 years in United Healthcare. He joined the company in 2004, rose through the ranks to become a CEO. During his leadership, the company saw significant growth, including over 35 acquisitions in the past decade. He earned 10.2 million in 2023, and before that, he worked for PwC for over 6 years, as you can see in his LinkedIn profile. He lived in the suburb of Minneapolis, Minnesota, with his wife, Paulette, and their 2 sons. He was mourned as a loving father and a dedicated colleague. And when I get into that, I'm going to show you that the uh, United Healthcare doesn't even want to acknowledge this, which is crazy. So his career was not without controversy, obviously, and we're not sure why Luigi targeted him when he wasn't making the most money out of these guys. So it's interesting. I wonder if it was the motive or if it was just the opportunity to get him without a bodyguard. All right. So it says after selling, now this is controversial, $15 million in United Healthcare shares while reportedly aware of an ongoing U.S. Department of Justice antitrust investigation. So a class action lawsuit filed by the City of Hollywood firefighters pension fund accused him and other executives of failing to disclose the probe before selling their shares, right? The lawsuit still remains even though he's gone. So that doesn't change, you guys. That doesn't change one bit. All right. So why him? Yes, I'm very sad for his friends and family, but why him is what I want to know. All right, I'm gonna go into while people are starting to come in, I'm gonna get you all caught up on this, and then I'm gonna show you about the crypto. I'm gonna read you I'm gonna read you most of the manifesto, and then I'm gonna let Hidden True Crime read the rest that I don't have. All right, so let's catch you all up on this. For those of you that have been not able to watch every second of it, let me see if I can go fast because I have a lot to cover today. I have a ton to cover. I don't even know where to start. But today we're talking about Luigi Mangione. Is he a hero or a villain? And why people think that. Coming up next. And I'll get into the crypto right after this.
Fox 5 News Block. The NYPD says a gun found on the suspect in the United Healthcare CEO's killing matches the shell casings found at the crime scene. The news comes as Luigi Mangione awaits extradition to New York City while he sits in a Pennsylvania jail. And windy, wintry weather is now on the way. What forecasters are saying about this?
Out on the east end here.
About the weather. Let's
just
get
around
into this.
Eastern.
Hold on. It's about 2 minutes in. There it is. All right.
Ross is in Altoona, Pennsylvania with the latest.
Luigi Mangione is currently behind bars at the Huntington Correctional Facility about 40 minutes away from here, the McDonald's here in Altoona, where he was spotted and arrested and taken into custody.
I'm a lawyer. That's why we're fighting extradition. We have constitutional rights, and that's what we're doing.
Thomas Dickey is challenging extradition to New York City for his client, Luigi Mangione, who is accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in Midtown Manhattan last week. Dickey claims there isn't enough evidence for his client to be held without bail.
You can't rush to judgment in this case or any case, because any one of you all, if you're charged with a crime or any of your family members.
And this is a very well-to-do lawyer. You can see how confident he is. And he's right to say that there is not enough information yet because they haven't presented really anything. So we're going to get into this. I watched this 17-minute one, the 17-minute long interview yesterday. And this is all just going to recap what happened between the time I saw you the day before yesterday and now. And I'm so excited to share the crypto with you because I almost thought about buying into it just to get some in order to obviously get ahead, right? We all need money. We know that insurance has screwed me over big time. You know, I just talked to my insurance company today and they're saying, Jay, we're only going to pay a part of your roof. Even though your whole roof is effed up, we're only going to pay you a part. How can we justify paying you a portion after fighting for 9 long months. So insurance is insurance, you guys, and that's what people are talking about. We're talking about healthcare, but I believe Luigi is trying to start a movement, and I think it is working. He's still guilty. I think he's going to pull a defense of mental, not the right mental capacity. So let's keep going. I'm very into this case. Very deep.
Your loved ones, you don't want anybody rushing to those judgments. So if you believe in America and that presumption of innocence, then you cannot rush to judgment.
With his arms and legs shackled, Mangione had an outburst as he was escorted into Blair County Courthouse for his extradition hearing on Tuesday.
Completely out of touch and insult the intelligence of the American people and lived experience.
Mangione was spotted in this Altoona McDonald's on Monday, eating what appears to be a hash brown when police approached him. Investigators say on him was a laptop, masks, $10,000 cash, the same New Jersey fake ID he used at the Upper West Side hostel, and a gun consistent with the weapon used in the shooting. This customer says his friend was the one who notified a McDonald's employee.
He made a
And it's absolutely outrageous that people are looking at his eyebrow and saying his eyebrow doesn't match to the person in the camera. They're saying, what else am I hearing? I'm hearing that he got caught with a backpack. How did he get caught with the same backpack if they found the backpack with the Monopoly money? It couldn't be him. So getting to this to be a jury trial is going to be very interesting, and what happens in between is going to be even more interesting, you guys. But yes, I'd love to make money off of some cryptos, buy it for the day and make $76,000. You guys are going to be, especially if you're into crypto, you're going to be like, what? Because I don't know if you guys have seen that yet, but it's very interesting. Lots of fake names, Kristen. People be crazy around this. They are. Like I said, I've got engineers arguing with me about it. And I'm like, how could you argue about that? It doesn't make sense. All right, what do you say, Bree? Imagine being arrested for having a weapon and using a fake ID, and then he got nervous and admitted his real name and urinated himself. Right. That will show the picture of him peeing on himself. All right, how many people... Jay, can you take a poll of how many people think Luigi was right and his wrongs? I will. As soon as I hit play on the video, I'll play the video and go put a poll up on my community page, all right? Because I don't know how to do one right here. But thank you, Foxy Amazon, so much for the 420 Guilty of Crime membership. I know it's the holidays right now and everybody's getting low on funds, so I appreciate your contributions. It all helps. He actually did pee himself, Kristen. I'm going to show you a picture of that once we get to this. I'm going to read you part of the manifesto, and then we're going to listen to the entire manifesto so I can have it documented on my channel the way I want to. I want this whole thing. I could probably stream for about 6 hours here today, just going over this and talking to you guys. All right, I'm going to go put up a poll real quick.
comment. God, that looks like the shooter from New York. But I thought the group of us, I thought it was more of a joke. And we were kidding about it. But then as it turned out, it was him.
As the Manhattan District Attorney's Office has put out an arrest warrant for Mangione for murder and other charges, the Blair County charges are still active.
We also intend on cooperating with the New York City Police Department and the Manhattan DA's office. We've already indicated to them that we believe their charges take precedent, and we'll do what's necessary to accommodate their prosecution first. But that doesn't mean we're getting rid of our charges.
And while in court yesterday for his hearing, Mangione was restless. He interrupted his defense attorney, who turned to him and said, "Don't say a word." Now, they have 2 weeks to file a formal application to fight against extradition, but it could take up to 45 days to extradite him back to New York City. Reporting in Altoona, Pennsylvania, Michelle Ross, Fox 5 News.
And police reveal more evidence tied to the murder of Brian Thompson has just been uncovered in Central Park while Luigi Mangione fights his extradition back here in the city. Now, these are exclusive photos given to Fox 5. The NYPD says a person was walking a dog in Central Park on East Drive between East 81st and 83rd.
And this is why I brought this article to you today, so you can see some of the things that they found that other people don't have. Now, I just went and put that up. I said, what do you think about Luigi Mangione? Is he a hero or is he a villain? I'm going to be very interested to know. All right, had to leave another podcast yesterday because 2 women in the chat were irritated with me because I said I didn't condone his action. That's why, Avis, that's why I'm being so neutral about you guys able to express your opinions, because I want you to express your opinions and feel like you're safe here on Guilty of Crime. So if one person out of 100 doesn't agree, let them be. As long as they're respectful, we're all good. The world is saying something different than what we're saying here. I'm saying that that I'm saying murder is not condoned. Murder unless you're, and even sometimes that doesn't happen, but if it's self-defense, you still got to look at the whole puzzle before you put it together. All right. So there you go. Go on and take a look at that. I can post a link. I think just go to my community page, Guilty of Crime community page, and drop that there. It's Guilty of Crime, or you can go to Breeze. All right. And you guys keep on chatting, please. Let's keep going. I got such a big show today.
5th, when they saw the bag and noticed writing on it. It mirrors markings found on shell casings found at the scene. Now, last week, shell casings reportedly were found with the words written, "Deny, defend, depose" on them. Now, a popular phrase against the healthcare industry. Now, top brass appeared on Good Day New York this morning talking about how a week's worth of hard work ultimately paid off.
But at the end of the day, good old-fashioned police work, detective work, if you will, tracking video, getting a picture out, putting it out, asking the public for help, and lo and behold, in McDonald's, workers, customers, seeing something, saying something, alerting us. Altoona, rookie police officer, we lose sight of this. He walks into McDonald's, unbeknownst to him, going after a person who just murdered someone, and he was armed with that gun. Very dangerous situation. So collective teamwork between the community, our detectives, our country, our city. This is how the process works.
The Manhattan North Homicide Squad, the Manhattan North detectives, they've been working this case, Roseanne, Kurt, since Wednesday. Some of them haven't even been home to see their families. They literally was sleeping at the command, because that just goes to show you the dedication, the commitment to try to catch this individual.
Investigators still want to know who Mangione made contact with after the murder and where he went. Now, we're now hearing from Daniel Penny days after he was acquitted in the chokehold death of Jordan Neely on the subway. He sat down with Judge.
All right. That's actually really, I love this interview here, but it's a separate case. And I do think that Daniel Penny was just in this. And Rachel, if you go over to my Guilty of Crime page, my community page, it's youtube.com/ and then @Guilty of Crime community page. It's right on the community page. You have to open another tab. All right. Anyway, all right, let's keep going. There's a lot here. Totally. I'm going to get into that. We're going to talk about the healthcare. We're going to talk about the healthcare and why people are so upset about it. We're going to talk about deny, defend, depose, UnitedHealthcare CEO killing highlights widespread rage at the healthcare, and how UnitedHealthcare is responding or not responding to this situation, which is kind of outrageous. So let me pull this one down. Let's get into the crypto real quick. I really want you guys to see this since you're here before you go do something else. Mangione meme coins. This is crazy. Did anyone else hear about this today? Value of Luigi Mangione meme coins soar as he faces murder charges in the UHC CEO shooting. All right. What's up, Liv Wade? How you doing? Wanda, Miracle Hearts. I'm glad you're back. All right. Take a look at that. Many people say that he tried to get caught, which doesn't sound like he tried to. It sounds like he didn't leave fast enough. All right. Michelle says, I understand it in a weird way. I don't condone it. The man had children. That part gets me. I agree. There's 219 people in chat. If you guys can hit the like button, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. All right. So we just saw that meme coins. I'm gonna go here. One coin reached a market capitalization of over $76 million, you guys. That's crazy. People are all about this. Watch. I think this is this an ad? I think this is just him getting out. I'll play that and then I'll scroll down. People are cheering him on for this and him doing this.
Oh my God, that's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Him doing that says that he's guilty. So, all right. So let's go with the cryptocurrency enthusiasts. It's crazy. They're spending millions of dollars on trading these meme coins. They're themed around Luigi Mangione's fatal or alleged fatal shooting of the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. Many of the coins listed on the crypto sites like pump.fun. So if you guys are looking to go check those out and you want to see what the heck that is, go to pump.fun. Sport supportive names like Free Luigi Mangione and Justice for Luigi Mangione. One such coin, simply named Luigi, launched on Monday, the same day that he was charged with the murder in New York. It briefly achieved a market capitalization of more than $76 million. How does that happen? How does that happen? All right. What we know about this, we already got into this. So I'm just going to show you some of the things going on the news. Take a look at that. I heard that millions have died to this corporation and health payments. Right. And I want to show you also, Bubba's Play. I want to show you how they responded or didn't respond to this. And when I say they, I mean United Healthcare. It's like they want to sweep it under the rug and they don't want us talking about it. This next video I'm going to show in a minute, they don't want us talking about the downside of United Healthcare. They want us talking about what a monster Luigi is, and obviously we want to say a prayer for Brian Thompson. They don't want any of this out there. So remember that as we're playing it and as we're looking at it, United Healthcare wants this to go away. All right. Vanessa, I watched a video today on how people in jail are going to react to Luigi. And I was pleasantly I wasn't pleasantly, I was just surprised what they said about him. From one guy in prison to us, he says that people are actually going to want to friend him because he's starting a movement, because he's so popular, because of the money his family has. They're going to want to be around him, which is absolutely insane. Yes, there were signs. No one listened or understood the problem. Well, they are now. Yeah, he's going to end up writing a manifesto about the substandard healthcare system in prison. I like that. I'll keep that up as I talk about this. All right. So this is the inspired meme coin. It's $sign Luigi. It hit a new all-time high of $45 million, you guys. So if you're into crypto, go take a look. Now, when someone outside of the crypto bubble encounters headlines like this, they view it as absolute insanity. Alex Bean, a financial literacy instructor for University of Tennessee, told Newsweek, after all, who would invest in a digital currency inspired by the alleged killer of a major company CEO? However, this currency is the latest in a string of coins offerings meant to capture some monetary value on online stories and moments that go viral and manufacture a financial component to the enthusiasm around them. I think these are people with too much money, you guys. Now, the shooting has generated groundswell of online conversation, which I'm going to get into in a bit after we go over the healthcare, often with a surprisingly supportive tilt toward the suspect. Now, Amazon had to repeatedly pull down wine tumblers, you guys, sweatshirts, and other merchandise supportive of the shooter, Luigi. Now, he's the suspected shooter, right? So he hasn't been proven guilty. And yeah, Swade, you know what? I'm all about Richard Allen. I think he's the right guy. So I respect your opinion. But if they're gonna start going about this, what I'm hearing in the Brian Koberger case, what I heard in the Richard Allen case, this is what I'm hearing with Luigi. To me, it sounds all the same. It sounds like conspiracy theories and a whole lot of nuts. All right. CEO was to be in the court discussing a Nancy Pelosi stock dump after he sold his stocks. I wonder why he was targeted, though. Yeah, he doesn't. You're absolutely right. He doesn't have any right whatsoever. All right. And you're right about that, too, because the premiums are about to raise. People are going to be even more mad. All right. So this guy, you could tell, became unhinged. He knew he probably was going to get caught. He didn't try to get rid of the manifesto he had on him. He still had the weapon. You know, they're thinking it's a vet gun. It's not a vet gun. It's a 3D printed gun. They're going to match the 3D printed material. They're going to be able to find the material, the machine. They're going to match it up with the type of material that he used, and they're going to be able to check it that way. So when his lawyer says there's no evidence, believe me, you guys, there's lots of evidence when you create a ghost gun and you use a 3D printer, because now you can find the different kinds of material. And then off the tip of my head, if you guys are engineers, I just forgot what the material is called. They use different ones for the manufacturing or printing of a gun, but they're going to be able to trace that. They're going to be able to tell what you used last, what machine it was coming from, how the machine finished printing, what you left, what 3D part was the last one on your computer. So there's going to be evidence. All right. So now we're talking about the wider social media conversation, often surprisingly supportive of him after shooting, now revealing a deep-wide nation dissatisfaction for the current healthcare system. Currently, over 1,000 people go bankrupt daily solely due to the personal medical bills. Anyone who can make millions of dollars overseeing a system like this and sleep well at night doesn't deserve my sympathy. Now, this is Beau Fort, a former Green Party candidate for the Congress in New Jersey, who ran a platform calling for universal health care. And he's the one that told the Independent that. So now we're kind of getting into politics. All right. So I just wanted you guys to see that that this is happening. And if for none other than just a kick, go take a look at that currency. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. All right. Let me put this up, and then I want to play some of the downfalls of that. But I also want to show you this while we're waiting, because I have part of it. Take a look at him. If you guys seen this, KenKlippenstein.com, and he found some of the manifesto. If you guys have seen the manifesto and you're secure in the fact that you saw the whole thing, you think you saw the whole manifesto, if you guys could do me a favor and type a 1 in chat, because I want to see if you guys already saw the manifesto. Let me know. All right. And if you haven't seen the manifesto, hit a 2, please. 1, if you saw the manifesto. 2, if you didn't. That way I can know if I should play it or not. Now, yes, it's a 4-page written document, but many people think they saw it and many people haven't seen it. Wolfpack, you've seen it because Hidden True Crime had it, right? All right, many people didn't. So I'm going to get into it and then I'll play it. Many people, I don't think you guys did. It was hard for me to find. Swade Smith, thank you for being cool. I think Jen Soto needs to be in jail and Rick needs to be free. I'm not educated enough about the CEO shooter, but #expose 2024. Jesus is coming for the good ones. This is crazy because you're right. It was called out at the beginning of the year that in 2024 things were going to be exposed. All right. Thank you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for being active in chat. Lake Lady, good to see you. Lisa Lynn says Jay's stepping in, making supper. Hi, crew. What's up, Lisa? Don't forget to hit the like button, all right? And you're already a member, so thank you. All right. Now, Tom says, I have a thought. How about changing healthcare companies if you're disappointed with yours instead of, yes, I agree with that. Now, he's in his mind, in Luigi's mind, he thinks that he's changing things from the ground up. Now, I'm not going to change, right? He's 26 years old. He says, I'm not going to change my healthcare because I'm already stuck with it for whatever reason. His mom, his back, all of that, which we'll hear now. So I think he feels like he's doing something. And I feel like he is. I feel like when I show you the way the world's responding, you're going to see what I'm talking about. What's up, Edith? Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. let's look at this. So this guy says he obtained a copy of it. Now there's only some of it. Some of it's here. There's other pages that aren't it. They're fake, AI generated ones. So here's a portion of it. All right. This is not all of it. He says, to the feds, I'll keep it short because I do respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial, some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, and a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-do lists. That lists the illuminate. Is it illuminate? Oh, I'm sorry. That illuminate the gist of it. My tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. I do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it has to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. A reminder that the U.S. has #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly number 42 in life expectancy. United is the indecipherable largest company in the U.S. market by cap, behind only Apple, Google, Walmart. It has grown and grown, but as our life expectancy, no. The reality is these indecipherable have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have space, and frankly, I do not pretend to be most qualified person to lay out the full argument. But many illuminated the corporation or the corruption and greed, e.g., Rosenthal, Moore, decades ago, and the problem simply remains. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I'm the first to face it with such brutal honesty. All right, so he's thinking of himself as a martyr, I imagine. So. All right, so we're going to let Lauren finish that up. We're going to let her read it, Lauren from Hidden True Crime. Yes, we do have that. We do want to talk about that. The 3 bullets containing a word, denied, right? That's another issue, right? That's a whole other issue. There's a whole bunch of things you're going to hear and see today. All right, so defend or deny, defend, depose. United Healthcare CEO highlights of widespread rage at the healthcare system. Let's get into that, and then we'll finish the manifesto. I want to show you both sides of things. All right, this is crazy stuff.
While many offered condolences to Thompson's loved ones, his killing sparked outrage over the state of healthcare in America. Some turned to social media to share their experiences with health insurance companies.
UnitedHealthcare denials of coverage. Interesting that one of the shell casings had the word deny written on it. And it made me think of the time they tried to deny coverage for my mother's dialysis. Yes, you heard that correctly. UnitedHealthcare tried to deny coverage for dialysis.
For more, we're joined by 2 guests. In Washington, D.C., Derek Crow is with the nonprofit People's Action Institute, which has a care over cost campaign focused on the health insurance companies' quote, systemic practice of refusing to approve care through prior authorization denials or pay for care through claim denials. And in Philadelphia, we're joined by Wendell Potter, former executive for the health insurance companies Cigna and Humana. He's the executive editor of Healthcare Uncovered. Wendell is the author of Deadly Spin, an insurance company insider speaks out on how corporate PR is killing healthcare and deceiving Americans, and also the book Nation on the Take, How Big Money Corrupts Our Democracy and What We Can Do About It. We welcome you both to Democracy Now! Wendell, let's begin with you. When you heard that the CEO of United Health was murdered on the streets of New York, that the assassin had written the words deny, depose, defend on the bullets, that there was this outpouring of anger about healthcare companies, while at the same time, many, of course, expressed condolences to the family of Brian Thompson. Your thoughts?
It was chilling, but not.
All right. And now, I mean, he says it's chilling. I see many people in chat that do believe it's chilling, but you're also having trouble with insurance, or you've had trouble in the past. And I believe that's what took him, Luigi, to the next level of doing that. Now, he's a 26-year-old guy with a rich family. He takes off. He's gone for months. His mom calls in and reports him missing, right? Kind of like Hannah. By the way, breaking news, everybody. Hannah Kobayashi was found. And she's the one that took off, by the way. She took off. Her dad committed or unalived himself, and now she's back. So it's very interesting to hear what's happening these days, what's going on. But, we're hearing it. And a lot of people, it's not just healthcare, it's insurance in general. But healthcare will kill you, right? So if you go in there and you get denied and you need this expensive surgery, or you get this surgery like Luigi with the back screws and all the screws and stuff, and he's taking medication, that's the only thing that I can see that pushed him over the edge is his self-importance, maybe narcissism, to think that he can go out, shoot this CEO in basically broad daylight, because you see it on the cameras, and then start a revolution. It's very interesting, very interesting. And yeah, I'm taking a lesson from this healthcare stuff, because you guys, I'm at battle right now with Liberty Mutual. No, I'm not going to go make a ghost gun and shoot anybody. All right, let's listen a little bit further. I want you
Far
guys to
more
see this.
than its competitors. But for-profit insurers in general have used this as a means of enriching their shareholders, of using fewer and fewer of our premium dollars to pay for the care that we need, so that more money can be made available to their shareholders.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Wendell Potter, there are about an average of 75 homicides per day in the United States. And I was stunned by the level of media attention and law enforcement resources utilized to track down this one killer of a wealthy businessman and health executive. I'm wondering your sense of where our system places its resources.
It's a very good point. So many resources were put on this, obviously for one reason, because it became such a big media story, and the drama around this made it certainly a compelling story.
Yeah.
But we're talking about a person of privilege and great wealth who was killed, and that triggered this manhunt that I think we, as you said, there are homicides every day in this country, sadly, but you don't have this kind of reaction. But I think part of what's going on here, back to the rage that we've seen on social media, it's just been barely below the surface, and this triggered.
All right, so yeah, definitely triggering for some people, Rosie. So they did get the right guy. Now, allegedly, this is the right guy. In my opinion, I'm trying to figure out with you guys is Luigi Mangione. And I'm going to show you some clips here soon before I get to the manifesto. Do they have the right guy? Number one, many people are saying no. Number two, is he a hero or a villain? And if he's not a hero, why are people acting that way? Why is the world dressing up? Why are people dressing up? Why is the world fighting about what's going on with him? Why is it going to be hard to get a jury picked? Why are people in jail going to be drawn to him and want to help him and not do things to him like they would, for instance, with Stephen Stearns? So all of this is the question I pose to you, and that's weighing on my mind, because obviously the deny, defend, and depose is something that insurance companies do. Let's go a little bit forward. I don't want to get too political. Is this I think we might have seen most of this here. I wanted to really get into the healthcare downfalls.
Headquarters of UnitedHealth. Explain.
Right. Well, first, let me say that we also offer our condolences to the family and friends of Brian Thompson. We obviously condemn any act of gun violence, no matter the motivation. We were shocked by that crime. We were not shocked by the outpouring of rage you mentioned. And I just want to say the thing that took us to that location and that led us to that action were stories just like Carly's. These corporations have too much power in this country. They are blocking progress on issues like gun violence and on the epidemic of care denials in this country, either through prior authorizations or through claims denials. Just like Carly, 248 million care denials are issued by these companies every year, either through a prior authorization denial or a care denial. And people's anxiety and stress and anger about that has just built up to a boiling point. Carly's case, she finally got paid her claim for that surgery only because she worked with us and gathered around with other people who organized in a strategic, nonviolent way to put pressure on these companies. Her condition is terribly painful. It's called NMALS. It's
All right, so you're kind of seeing what's happening there. Lynette, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. She says, somebody match me. Again, you guys, I know that, I know you guys, it's Christmas time and whatever, if you don't have the means, but just hit the like button, subscribe so we can hit the 20,000. Now, Beautiful Me says he will be a hero in jail. People are tired. Yes, I am seeing that. I am seeing that. We're going to see more of it. I mean, this guy's even talking about it. He's saying, and you're going to hear from United Healthcare that they're just trying to stop this, cover it up, let it go. So why is there a huge census around the world where people are saying they got the wrong guy? And I can't wait to see the poll, what you guys think. Thank you guys. Thank you, ladies, for always supporting my channel, and all of you. I appreciate it. All right, look at this. I mean, this right here, what you see with the feeding tube and the needles and the pills, that is what Luigi was going through. And we have a couple of his friends interviews. One I played on my channel. If you go back, there's an interview with just him. He now responded to the media. So you got two people saying they didn't see this coming. Yes, his health was affecting him, but not enough to do something like this. So it doesn't seem like people are that mad about it.
pain when she eats is equivalent, her doctors say, to end-stage pancreatic cancer. And this corporation was refusing to give her the care that she needed, that she had been paying premiums for. And we had to literally take her pain to their front door to get their attention. Now, we were happy to do that. We want to do that for everybody that joins us at careovercost.org, but we can't do that 248 million times a year. Something's got to change.
I agree.
Derek Crow, we only have about 30 seconds, but I wanted to ask you quickly, Medicare Advantage, which Brian Thompson ran for UnitedHealth Care, the privatization of Social Security. We're seeing all these ads about open enrollment the past few weeks. What are you urging in terms of the government's use of this privatization of Medicare?
All right, so we're not going to solve this problem. We know when they privatize things like that, they can skyrocket. Now, I just looked at the poll, and right now, 70% say he's a villain, and 30% say he's a hero. That's crazy, you guys. That's crazy. So that's a big deal. And I agree, Clark. I just saw 222 a minute ago say a prayer for Brian Thompson and what caused his pins, Mama Sage. We'll get into that. Let's see. One of you ladies, if you could send me an article on his back pins and what caused it. I have so many other ones, but what caused it? I know he was a young man that worked out, did surfing, etc. But we'll get into that. His hair curly everywhere. And that same guy, look at the color of his. Oh, he is the guy. I was arguing with my coworker. He is the guy. I don't have any doubt that he is, but you're going to hear it in a little bit that people say it's not him. I don't know how it's justified. Let me give you a laugh for a second while we play. In between some of these, we're going to have a laugh because it's such a serious topic. Check this out. 30 days of U.S. healthcare. United Healthcare denies everything.
What did we do this time? A PET scan? No, we barely cover human scans. Listen, sir, you can talk about this beta island all you want. We're not going to approve a continuous glucose monitor. It's too much monitoring. Yeah, Zofran requires a prior authorization. Well, if the chemotherapy causes nausea, then we'll talk. No, we can only approve 10 milligram tablets. And if your patient even thinks about splitting those in half, we will surprise bill the hell out of them. Okay, but the chest pain didn't end up being an emergency. I know you have evidence that says this patient needs a CT scan for cancer surveillance, but counterpoint, know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying maybe the brain tumor will go away on its own.
Oh man.
Preventative health care. I understand you don't think the patient can be discharged home, but I just don't get the vibe that they'd rehab well, you know.
Now, this is making fun of, U.S. healthcare and what happens. And they know, I mean, I'm going to show you after a computer response that they wrote up. They know what they're doing. They know what's happening. They know what they're supposed to do, what they're supposed to say. Just like My Liberty Mutual, they know what they're supposed to deny. They know how to say it. They know how long to make me wait. Or you, if you're trying to get healthcare, they know that if they make you be in pain long enough that you're gonna XYZ whatever they want you to do. Avis, thank you so much for the 5 Guilty of Crime memberships. And if you guys don't know, I just want you to know that the fingerprints were recovered from the item. So, in my opinion, Luigi Mangione, innocent until proven guilty. The fingerprints were recovered and found near the shooting in Manhattan to match Luigi Mangione's fingerprints. All right. So if you don't think that there is evidence, think again. I am just kidding when I say that, when I would make a joke about it or say what people are saying, because I'm really diehard that he did this. He wants to be infamous. He wants to be a martyr. He wants to start this revolution. So you people that say it's not him, the fingerprints match. Everything else matches up so far circumstantially, where he was when he went missing, where he was supposed to be. The ghost gun allegedly in Mangione's possession was matched to 3 shell casings, also recovered in Midtown, New York, which is very easy to do, you guys. When you're printing a ghost gun, it's so easy to mark or match markings on it because it's a one of a kind that you made. So when you have a ghost gun, don't think that it's not going to be traced. Yes, water bottle DNA. All right, let's just see what United Healthcare denying everything. I just thought this was kind of funny.
So, deny. You're filing an appeal. Who taught you that? Yeah, we'll process your appeal in 6 to 8 weeks. I'm sure your patient will be just fine without insulin until then. Yeah, we can cover the pill form of that medication. Well, I think we underestimate what toddlers can do. No, ma'am, I'm sorry. You cannot skip your birth control placebo pills. Because if you don't menstruate, your belly will explode. Trust me, I'm a man speaking confidently. Ugh, diabetes? No, just no, all of it, no. Oh, you want a CPAP for this patient? When was the sleep study done? 2 full days ago? No, denied. Yeah, be a bit more timely with your communication next time. Ooh, I'm sorry, we can't approve a new battery for that pacemaker. Yeah, I don't know.
This guy just keeps going. And speaking of that, right as I am listening to this, my insurance guy calls me and says, hey, I just spoke with the city, and unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get you a whole roof. Isn't that crazy? I'm not going to be able to get you a whole roof. Am I going to get a half a roof? Are these people going to get a half a dose of medicine or a half a surgery? That's a problem. That's why people are mad. Oh my God. Wow. All right. This guy is just, you understand the gist. I'm going to play the manifesto real quick, and then I'm going to go back to some of the public census. This is the entire thing I want you guys to see. I saw a 2 in chat. You guys did not see the manifesto. So let me have you listen to this, and let me call my guy real quick while you guys watch this. I'm sorry about that.
Here we are.
Here it is, y'all.
Forgive me for any words I can't pronounce, but the Second Amendment means I am my own chief executive and commander-in-chief of my own military. I authorize my own act of self-defense in response to a hostile entity making war on me and my family. Nelson Mandela says no form of violence can be excused. Kama says it's all the same whether you live or die or have a cup of coffee. MLK says violence never brings permanent peace. Gandhi says that nonviolence is the mightiest power available to mankind. That's who they tell you are heroes. That's who our revolutionaries are. Yet, is that not capitalistic? Nonviolence keeps the system working at full speed ahead. What did it get us? Look in the mirror. They want us to be nonviolent so they can grow fat off the blood they take from us. The only way out is through. Not all of us will make it. Each of us is our own chief executive. You have to decide what you will tolerate. In Gladiator 1, Maximus cuts into the military tattoo that identifies him as part of the Roman legion. His friends asks, "Is that the sign of your god?" As Maximus carves deeper into his own flesh, as his own blood drips down his skin, Maximus smiles and nods yes. That tattoo represents the emperor who is God. The god emperor has made himself part of Maximus's own flesh. The only way to destroy the emperor is to destroy himself. Maximus smiles through the pain because he knows it is worth it. These might be my last words. I don't know when they will come for me. I will resist them at any cost. That's why I smile through the pain. They diagnosed my mother with severe neuropathy when she was 41 years old. She said it started 10 years before that with burning sensations in her feet and occasional sharp stabbing pains. At first, the pain would last a few moments and fade to tingling, then numbness, and fade to nothing a few days later. The first time the pain came, she ignored it. Then it came a couple times a year and she ignored it. Then every couple months, then every couple times a month, then a couple times a week. And at that point, by the time the tingling faded to numbness, the pain would start and the discomfort was constant. At that point, even going from the couch to the kitchen to make her own lunch became a major endeavor. She started with ibuprofen until the stomach aches and acid reflux made her switch to acetaminophen. Then the headaches and barely sleeping made her switch back to ibuprofen. The first doctor said it was psychosomatic. Nothing was wrong. She needed to relax, de-stress, sleep more. The second doctor said it was a compressed nerve in her spine. She needed back surgery. It would cost $180,000. Recovery, 6 months minimum before walking again. 12 months to full potential recovery.
And sorry about that. I had to hop off. Yeah, we're going to have to see. Yeah, definitely not calling a lawyer. I'm calling my construction company, but we're listening to this. One of my mods, how far are we? How long is it? Actually, I'm asking you, Patty. So we're a few minutes in. How long is this? We've watched about 3 minutes of it, and I'm trying to figure out. I'll keep playing it so I can pick up on it. This is the first
She
time
would
I've
never
heard this.
lift more than 10 pounds of weight again. The third doctor performed a nerve conduction study, electromyography, MRI, and blood tests. Each test cost $800, $1,200. She hit her $6,000 deductible of her United Healthcare plan in October. Then the doctor went on vacation, and my mother wasn't able to resume tests until January when her.
Okay, so they're still continuing now. Evil Alaska, where they got that is they just looked at it. The police officers hadn't seen a gun like that. It wasn't somebody that saw the guns said, "Oh, when you heard the noise, you can hear that there was a silencer on it." So they assumed it was a veterinary gun. Absolutely not. It's a 3D printed gun. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And of course, you guys, they're going to raise my premium. Absolutely. They're going to. All of the above is just whatever. But let's talk about this. Brian Thompson is a victim. We still have our lives and we can fight for many things. So let's keep going with this. This is from Hidden True Crime. I believe that the 3D printed, the way they looked at it at first, I can see why they would have got it wrong. All right. And what's up, Ava Sim? How you doing? You guys, if you can support the channel, you guys know what's up. You guys see the struggles that I go through. If you have the means, help, please do. I'm going to see what I can do with my own money, see if we can get something going. But let's keep going. And it is a 3D printed gun. I'm sure of it.
Deductible reset. The test showed severe neuropathy. The $180,000 surgery would have had no effect. These prescribed opioids for the pain. At first, the pain relief was worth the price of constant mental fog and constipation. She didn't tell me about that until later. All I remember is we took a trip for the first time in years when she drove me to Monterey to go to the aquarium. I saw an otter in real life swimming on its back. We left at 7 a.m. and listened to Green Day on the 4-hour car ride. Over time, the opioids stopped working and they made her more sensitive to pain, and she felt withdrawal symptoms after just 2 or 3 hours. Then gabapentin. By now, the pain was so bad she couldn't exercise, which compounded the weight gain from the slowed metabolic rate and hormonal shifts, and it barely helped the pain and made her so fatigued she would go an entire day without getting out of bed. Then the corticosteroids, which didn't even work. The pain was so bad, I would hear my mother wake up in the night screaming in pain. I would run into her room asking if she was okay. Eventually, I stopped getting up. She'd yell out in anguished shrieks of wordless pain or the word fuck stretched and distended to its limits. I'd turn over and go back to sleep. All of this while they bled us dry with follow-up appointments after follow-up appointments, specialist consultations, and more imagined scans. Each appointment was promised to be fully covered until the insurance claims were delayed and denied. Allopathic medicine did nothing to help my mother's suffering, yet it is the foundation of our entire society. My mother told me that on a good day, the nerve pain was like her legs were immersed in ice water. On a bad day, it felt like her legs were clamped into a machine shop vise, screwed down to where the cranks stopped turning, then crushed further until her ankle bones sprinted and cracked to accommodate the tightening clamp. She had more bad days than good. My mother crawled to the bathroom on her hands and knees. I slept in the living room to create more distance from her cries in the night. I still woke up and I still went back to sleep. But then I thought there was nothing I could do. The high copays made consistent treatment impossible. New treatments were denied as not medically necessary. Old treatments didn't work and still put us out for thousands of dollars. UnitedHealth limited specialist consultations to twice a year. Then they refused to cover advanced imaging, which the specialist required for an appointment. Prior authorizations took weeks and months. UnitedHealth constantly changed their claim filing procedure. They said my mother's doctor needed to fax his notes. Then UnitedHealthcare said they did not save fax patient correspondence and required a hard copy of the doctor's typed notes to be mailed. Then they said they never received the notes. They were unable to approve the claim until they had received and filed the notes. They promised coverage and broke their word to my mother. With every delay, my anger surged. With every denial, I wanted to throw the doctor through the glass wall of their hospital waiting room. But it wasn't them. It wasn't the doctors, the receptionists, administrators, pharmacists, imaging technicians, or anyone we ever met. What it was UnitedHealthcare. People are dying. Evil has become institutionalized. Corporations make billions of dollars off the pain, suffering, death, and anguished cries in the night of millions of Americans. We entered into an agreement for healthcare with a legally binding contract that promised care commensurate with our insurance payments and medical needs. Then UnitedHealthcare changed the rules to suit their own profits. They think they make the rules and think that it's because it's legal that no one can punish them. They think there's no one out there who will stop them. And now my own chronic back pain wakes me in the night, screaming in pain. I sought out another type of healing that showed me the real antidote is to what ails us. I bid my time, saving the last of my strength to strike my final blows. All extractors must be forced to swallow the bitter pain they deal out to millions. As our own chief executives, it is our obligation to make our own lives better. First and foremost, we must seek to improve our own circumstances and defend ourselves. As we do so, our actions have ripple effects that can improve the lives of others. Rules exist between two individuals in a network that covers the entire earth. Some of these rules are written down. Some of these rules emerge from the natural respect between two individuals. Some of these rules are defined in physical laws like the properties of gravity, magnetism, and the potential energy stored in the chemical bonds of potassium nitrate. No single document better encapsulates the beliefs that all people are equal in fundamental worth and moral status and the frameworks for fostering collective well-being than the U.S. Constitution. Writing a rule down makes it into a law. I don't give a fuck about the law. Law means nothing. What does matter is following the guidance of our own logic and what we learn from those before us to maximize our own well-being, which will then maximize the well-being of our loved ones and community. That's where UnitedHealthcare went wrong. They violated their contract with my mother, with me, and tens of millions of other Americans. This threat to my own health, my family's health, and the health of our country's people requires me to respond with an act of war. End. Whoa. What did I just read?
That was perfect timing, you guys, and I appreciate you for waiting while I'm on the phone. All right, I'm back. We caught a live, and Reese is home, so now I can actually, if I need to stay on longer, I can. Thank you guys for being here. You just heard that manifesto. It's crazy. All right, it's crazy. Investigators. I'm gonna watch something now. Talk about about possible motives, and then I'm gonna show you some other things. I'm gonna show you some other things that the public thinks and what they're doing, the public senses. So I see some people in here. I see people in here talking about him, and I feel like there's a split. It's like people, you guys know, we know that murder is wrong, right? We know it's wrong, but you feel bad for him after hearing that. So I can't wait to see the poll. Yeah, you guys are having an awesome chat, and thank you guys for being awesome with each other and not fighting with each other. All right, let's watch this for a minute.
In our other top story tonight, the suspect in the killing of UnitedHealth CEO has been charged with murder in New York. That's after he was found and arrested Monday in Pennsylvania.
At his first court hearing this afternoon, the alleged gunman would not go quietly.
26-year-old Luigi Nicholas Mangione arrived for his initial court appearance in Pennsylvania today.
Completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people.
The accused killer shouting and struggling with officers outside. Inside, he remained defiant, contesting extradition to New York, where he faces his most serious charges. Overnight, the first glimpses of a more cooperative Mangione, as he was seen hauled away in handcuffs and put behind bars after a 6-day manhunt that led police more than 200 miles outside New York City.
Didn't even think twice about it. We knew that was our.
All right, so I like that. I like that comment, Adam. I can't call him a villain, but I also can't call him a hero. Self-professed vigilante. Oh man, that's great. I when I come to that conclusion as a vigilante as well, that's what I'm thinking. And we praise vigilantes, right? We watch all these superhero movies, and most of the time the superheroes are vigilantes, right? So it's interesting to see what the split is. Let's keep going. I want to see the public census on this.
Poor guy, but he was very cooperative with us.
Pennsylvania authorities have charged him with possession of an unlicensed firearm, forgery, and providing false identification. By late Monday evening, prosecutors in Manhattan added a charge of second-degree murder for the brazen, targeted killing of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian.
And you guys also want to find out about his medical condition as well. You want to find out about that. So they did a great article or a great thing. Yeah, Deadpool. I was absolutely, Leanne, you're in my head thinking about Deadpool. And maybe you say, Eva Alaska, maybe this manifesto isn't about his mom or him. Maybe he wrote a friend's medical experience. I don't think so, but there's a possibility of all things, right? We're going to watch or look at his medical condition and talk about that and how those conditions can drive somebody to things that aren't so healthy, like taking someone's life or being angry or fighting with your significant other or just doing things that, will get you arrested. So Carrie says, I really don't even think he cares about what happens to him. He wanted to be caught to put in a spotlight in the healthcare system. Yes, I do think so. I do absolutely think so. Sent gun fingerprints linked accused shooter Luigi Mangione with CEO killing, please say. Right. I believe they just upped his charges. And for the people that say it's not him, he wants it to be him, you guys. He doesn't want to get off on that. Now, I think he's going to he's going to plead something with his mental health. But he does want to be he wants to be a freaking martyr. He wants to be the person that you guys look up to when healthcare probably doesn't get reformed. No insurance is going to be reformed over this.
Thompson on a New York street last week. Mangione was born and raised in a wealthy Maryland family.
Well set.
Attending an elite all-boys prep school in Baltimore, graduating as valedictorian in 2016. He went to college at the University of Pennsylvania in the Ivy League, earning a bachelor and master's in computer science. He also had a last known address in Honolulu. During that time in Hawaii, someone who knew Mangione said he suffered from severe back pain due to a childhood injury.
There it is.
At one point, he left the island to get surgery on the mainland. A photo atop an X account believed to be associated with Mangione.
All right, and that brings me to what happened? I'm having a day today. 1 second. Something else started playing. Sorry, I'm going to go on to X after and go over it with some of you guys because I want you to see what things that he's saying. I want to go a little more in depth in that. Rosie says, I'm sorry. I know that feeling. I have a great doctor If info took me a while to find a great doctor. Well, look at this guy on X, and yeah, don't do that. Okay, you guys. I know a lot of people hashtag I took my meds on this channel. I love you guys for that, but I know a lot of people have some kind of medical condition or surgeries coming up, or you've been on maybe pain pills for many, many years. So you understand this. Of all people, I don't know if Sadie's mama is still here, but many times Sadie's mama comes to me and says, "Hey, Jay, I waited for an appointment for 2 months and then they canceled it. And then I went to go get my medication and it's not even in stock." So a lot of you guys can relate to that. All right. So Kerry says, "I would predict he will go to trial and take his chances on a jury trial. His family can't afford the best defense, and the longer the trial goes, the more talk about the predatory system." That I agree. He is going to have diminished mental capacity, though. I'm sure of it. We'll get on to his ex next.
Shows an X-ray image of screws in a spine. It's still unclear whether those problems were connected with his alleged targeting of Brian Thompson or UnitedHealth Group. A law enforcement official told the Associated Press that part of a 3-page handwritten document found on Mangione yesterday read, quote, "Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming." And an internal police analysis viewed by the New York Times found that Mangione believed himself to be a, quote, "hero of sorts." The shooting has ignited anger and resentment, and even glorified violence toward the healthcare industry, both online and elsewhere. In New York this weekend, people even gathered to take part in a look-alike contest for the accused shooter. All this has drawn condemnation, including from...
And you guys heard about this, right? You heard about the contest. You heard about the backpacks being sold out. And yeah, Adam, you're one of my faves today. Your comments, all of you guys, really. And I love the conversations you're having. I'm still looking at that poll, and that poll says 30-70 split. Luigi Mangione, now it's 79-21, y'all. Oh no, that's Hannah. It's 75-25. He's a villain, and I'll share that at the end because you guys also have comments. And if you guys want me to read your comments, go into the poll, vote, and then put your comments down there so I can read them. I got Artemis Prime. Pain will bend your mind and take you to a place you never thought. Confession: I started using METH after I broke my neck. Neurotransmitter could be numbed where nothing else did. Crazy. Yes, self-medication. Absolutely. Self-medication. That is a huge problem in the world, right? And then you go to opioids, and then you can't get opioids. You take your prescription to the doctor and they say, "Sorry, they're sold out everywhere." And then you got these people getting onto heroin, and then the heroin, I shouldn't even say that word, H, and then the H is cut with fent. So now you got these people dying, all because of these things happen in the medical industry. And trust me, you guys, I know a lot about this. I have friends that, I'm 45 and I think I'm in pretty good shape. How I look and my body's not broken, but some of my friends have been in pain for 20 years, and I see them going from place to place to try to get a refill, and then being treated like they're addicts. Thank you, Bubbles. Just go to the page, vote, leave a comment, and I'll read it after. All right. Foxy, always love your comments. Tylenols, acetaminophen, Advils, ibuprofen, Aleve, naproxen. I think that's how you say that. Or naproxen and Excedrin's a combo of aspirin, acetaminophen, and caffeine. Right. I love how you guys are talking about that. I haven't seen a poll. Got here 30 minutes ago. Not sure where the poll number's coming from. It's coming from my community page. If you go to my community page, there's a poll. Who thinks Luigi Mangione is a hero or is he a villain? 25% say he's a hero. 75% say he's a villain. And then you guys left comments, which I will gladly read if you go over and vote. All right, let's keep going. That dressing up contest is a trip. When I heard that, there it is there. You got all these young kids dressing up as him, and it's like, do these people even know about healthcare? What is this? Is it just because it's a fad? It's a trend. It's cool. He had a printed gun and they want to, I don't understand. I wonder how these people are directly connected to that purpose. or if they are.
In America, we do not kill people in cold blood to resolve policy differences or express a viewpoint. I understand people have real frustration with our healthcare system. In some dark corners, this killer is being hailed as a hero. Hear me on this. He is no hero.
Mangione is currently being held at a state correctional facility in Huntington, Pennsylvania, while the battle over his extradition plays out.
All right, let's keep going. I have so many more things to show you, and I got sidetracked from the damn insurance company thing, but I'll get back on track. I want to show you what came from United Healthcare response to the shooting, you guys. I thought they were going to be more supportive. I thought it would be more of a, I don't know what I thought or what I expected, but it's interesting. Michelle Lalonde says, I don't even know you could print 3D guns. And we just hit 222 people in chat. Say a prayer for Brian Thompson. It's going to be really hard to get complete and utter justice with this mentality, you guys, but I hope the family feels that way. All right. Yeah. Introducing Generation Alpha. Squeaky wheel attention seekers. I'm surprised those kids aren't wearing masks so their parents don't recognize them on TV. Right. And I love hearing you guys' stories. Bubblicious. I take Oxy daily and it sucks. Trying to work on it and don't let me have enough medicine because I go into instant withdrawal symptoms. I feel like I'm being held prisoner by my medication. That's a good one. I mean, that's a general census around here. A general census around this Bay Area. And yeah, you can't be called that, but they are, Julie V, and that's a problem. So go vote, see what's going on. Precocent says I'm 43 and have Ehlers-Danlos. I'm not sure what that is. Pain since childhood. Diagnosed, 39 years. Healthcare system drives people to give up. I became an alcoholic and sober 10 years. Congratulations, by the way. The system isn't broken. It's working as planned. Interesting. Very interesting, you guys. And we care. They don't care. We care. We care about you guys individually. All right. Artemis Prime says, did you hear him yell at the police? Planted evidence on him. Did you hear? I did. You just came in. We had the manifesto playing before you came in, I believe. Imagine Jacksons are 1,000 a week. I can't pay for them, so I deal with sickness. Yeah, everybody's got a story. And yeah, Mangione's a coward who stalked a man and took his life in cold blood. That's what they're saying. That's why he's in jail right now, and we're free. All right, let's look at United Healthcare. I want you to see what their response was to this. All right. If I was the family, I'd feel bad about this. All right. It says they can tell you. Oh, wait, hold on. I can't see it because it keeps on doing that. Boop. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on one sec. Come on. Did it come down? Oh, you can see my whole screen now. Come on. What happened, you guys? Okay, go back. All right. You can tell they really... Why does it keep going down like that? Okay, you can tell they really just want us to shut up and not acknowledgement. A source within the company told me. There it is. All right. Supervisors, and this is from United Healthcare, you guys. Supervisors are afraid to speak up about the corruption for fear of losing our jobs. It's like we're being forced to lionize Brian instead of analyze who he was. You guys see that? Here's what the memo sent to United Healthcare employees yesterday morning says. We ask that you adhere to our corporate communication policy regarding interactions with the news media. All media inquiries should be directed to our communications department. Please refrain from making any statements or comments to the media to ensure that our communications remain consistent and respectful. Wow, man, that's not very comforting to the family. What's up, Kawana? How you doing? Did someone just gift something? I see I missed something. Kawana just gifted another Guilty of Crime membership. We're going to have an awesome members only, you guys. I can't wait to do it. And on another note, I want to tell you guys, I'll finish reading that for tomorrow. I hope it's tomorrow. We're going to talk about Jen Soto. And you want to talk about corruption? Jen Soto stole a bunch of PPP money, you guys. And when you see the receipt of how much PPP money, I wonder if she can get reported for fraud. You guys are going to die. Just remember, hit the notification buttons, you guys. Hit like, subscribe, and hit all notifications, because tomorrow it's going to be a day. You're going to see some new stuff about Jennifer Soto. All right. Yeah, Rachel, they're covering their asses. Let me read this to you. All right. Take this down. And thank you for the thank you so much for the Guilty of Crime membership. Okay, so this announcement you can see is right from the computer screen, you guys. It says, with deep sadness, we inform you of the sudden passing of UHC CEO Brian Thompson. Brian was a visionary, leader, and a cherished member of our United Healthcare family. His contributions to our company and the healthcare industry were immense, and he will be greatly missed. During this time, we want to remind you that the Employee Assistance Program is available to support you. The EAP often confidential counseling services and resources to help you cope with grief and many other emotional challenges. Please reach out to the following. Additionally, we ask that you adhere to our corporate communications, which I just read. So that's the part I read. That's basically what they're saying, is refrain from talking to the media. All right. And then here we got fake versus real manifesto. The Rosenthal he refers to manifesto appears to be Elizabeth Rosenthal, who has written about fraudulent practices. All right. So here's the link to the writing on the paywall free site. And the edit says, she also appears to have published a book called An American Sickness, How Healthcare Became a big business, and you can take it back, given the fact that he just assassinated a health insurance CEO and organization by one of the highest claims denial rates in America. That seems highly relevant to unpacking his motivations. All right. And then there's a fake manifesto. It says, I searched the internet for the other blogs from his supposed blog. Okay. This was the one that you guys, many people thought, the allopathic complex and its consequences. That's the fake manifesto. I couldn't find any other posts or any pages from his blog. Also, and I don't know if you guys saw that, but that's the one that has a little like, I don't know if it's a gecko on the bottom, and it's 3 pages. So it's good to know. Let's look for these pictures real quick. Let me pull myself back up here. I'm just going to show you this. Lock her up. I love you guys. Some meds go from thousands of dollars to tens of dollars, literally. Pokemon, where's that coming from? Moana, I drive UHC crazy on the phone, but my hubby is worth it. I love you guys. Brian killed an immense amount of people from predatory practices. That's interesting, Elizabeth. Carrie Elizabeth. So I've heard. All right, let me look through here real quick. And I can do a document dump on Patreon. I notice I have more Patreon members now. So if you guys like the content and you like all the things that we're providing here, I'll dump it over on Patreon. Now, here you go. This is where he peed his pants. So is this a hero, you guys? Do heroes pee their pants? That's what I want to know. All right, take a look there. This guy pissed his pants. Now, I don't know if he didn't. I mean, if you notice, we didn't hear about giving up a fight or he didn't fight back when he got arrested. He gave up his stuff. He didn't try to do anything, didn't try to shoot. Look at the pants. He wet his pants, you guys. I bet you Deadpool wouldn't piss his pants. Julie, thank you so much. Giving what I can. Great channel and community. A bunch of crooks. Right. It's okay. You don't have to do Patreon, but if you can, go support that. And there's more information over there. Yes, he is in jail and he peed his pants. I want everybody to see that. For those of you that think he's a hero, what hero pees themselves? Just saying. Sadie's mama, we love you. You know that. All right. Every day passed away on a plane. Well, prayers to you. All right, let's keep going, you guys. You guys know I love you. I support you. And I try to keep in communication with you guys on a daily basis. All right. That's funny. I'm not going to read that, but all right, industrial society and its future. I mean, who puts this together? What is this? What are we saying here? What are we saying here? Crime Stoppers. I mean, he's very when you see this picture here and then you see this picture here and you see his smile, it's very apparent that's him, you guys. And this is circulating all over. There's memes going out of style. All right. We shouldn't show those too long, but I wanted you to see this. You can tell right there that it's 3D printed, you guys. Look at that grip. Look at the grip. That grip, if you guys don't know what a 3D printed GUN is, the top is metal. They've got the top, and then they've got the upper and the lower. The lower is what's printed by the 3D printer, and then you just buy a magazine, pop that in, and there you go. All right. I'm going to pull that down off the screen because sometimes they don't like that. All right. But, I mean, you can see rank and file employees at United Healthcare tell a different story. Thompson took massive payouts while we at the bottom had to work harder and longer. One employee told me, meanwhile, Witty brought in AI to learn from us. So they have the money for AI and massive bonuses, but we're still using software that's massively behind the industry standard. They've been lying to us. Resentment for Thompson was widespread at the company. The employee said, citing an internal company announcement about his death that only garnered 28 comments despite being seen by 16,000 employees. Imagine that, you guys. Imagine that. Wow. Of course his gun got jammed. That's going to happen when you're using a 3D printed gun. It's not going to be so smooth with anything. All right. Yes, it definitely got jammed. That's for sure. All right. That looks like him, you guys. And people are saying, so if you guys hear this, I want to tell you first, people are saying this is some weird conspiracy theory, you guys. All right. It's not. So there's people are saying that Luigi Mangione took this picture and said, "Let family fun reign," right? With the Lion King, and then he got himself purposely caught at McDonald's with all his things. Don't pay no mind. This is definitely not. Pain meds are hard on the teeth. I didn't know that, Artemis. Yeah, all of that is. All of that is. Right. I can show you what a 3D printer looks like if you guys don't understand that. Just imagine going to print a piece of paper, you guys. Let's say you're going to print a piece of paper or you're printing paper. You're just going to go print some document to sign off, right? Let me pull this down real quick. I'm not going to share this anymore. All right. So a 3D printer it prints things out 3-dimensional. So let's look at the Luigi's medical history real quick, and then I'll show you what a 3D printer is so you can get the exact idea of what it, and I'll even show you it printing out a 3D gun.
We have since learned, Jake, just in the last few minutes, that he has been hired to represent Luigi Mangione, that this was not a court-appointed defense attorney. And during this hearing, he, as you just heard him say, fought this extradition. He also was trying to fight, basically trying to get Mangione out on some sort of bail, saying he's got no criminal history. He can be, tracked by GPS if necessary.
All right, this is perfect. After this, I pulled up a really good example for you. I'm going to show you exactly so you can get that out of your freaking head. Yes, filament. Bree, you weren't here earlier when I said that. Filament. Filament is what they're going to be able to match up. He used filament to print that gun. And so when they go look at the filament and the filament matches the color and matches the type, it's a dead giveaway that he used that 3D printer to print the gun. Now I'm going to show you next. I'm going to show you what a GUN looks like coming from a 3D printer so that you guys can like dispel that veterinarian gun thing and see that he printed it with filament. All right. Good. Hello, Carol or Bean. I purchased a 4D printer for my daughter when they first came out. Nice. Nice. I heard that they use a ton of energy and filament doesn't go far. No, that's not true. Many of our prototypes at work are printed by filament. You just buy a ton of it. It works very well. All right, let's look at his medical history so you guys can understand kind of what made him snap. And look at that picture of him. He looks angry.
Necessary, to which the district attorney there in Blair County basically lined some of the evidence that they have against him, including the fact that he was found with $8,000 cash, $2,000 of foreign currency, a passport, said that he was evading police for several days, was transient. So, of course, as we know, he is still behind bars, the judge denying that request for some sort of bail. And he is allowed to fight this extradition. That is his right. What we understand now happens is that his attorney, that defense attorney, has 14 days to file a writ of habeas corpus. This basically allows him to say, you know what, this is not the guy that needs to be extradited. Of course, it's a stretch, but it does basically extend these proceedings. And it also, if you think about it, gives the NYPD, gives investigators more time to sort of collect evidence, build their case against them, and then they will all be back in court to discuss next steps in this court process. Jake?
And Bryn, what more are we learning about the suspect, Luigi Mangione?
Yeah, so we are learning the New York Times.
All right, so we're going to learn some more about him, but don't go away. I have 180 people still in chat. You guys do me a favor. Hit the like button if you haven't, and subscribe if you haven't. After this, I'm going to show you a 3D gun being printed and the controversy behind it so people actually know what the heck we're talking about. I'm not saying conspiracy theory when I say creating a diversion, as in change of path. Why? Interesting. I have a neighbor at my door. I'll be back. I love you guys. All right, let's keep going.
Times is actually reporting that his family grew very concerned about him at one point, actually filing a basically a missing persons report on November 18th with San Francisco. Now, we understand from the NYPD that he does have some ties to San Francisco. We're not quite sure of when that happened, but that is a key note. It also tracks with what we've been learning from his social media footprint, is that, you know, he was very active on social media for quite a while, you know, posting pictures of friends, his travels, and then sort of went dark where people were reaching out to him, wondering if he was okay. One person asked, "Are you going to honor your RSVP to my wedding?"
And look at that. Look at how much skinnier it looks like he got. It was like he was running for a few days, right? And him running for a few days definitely caused him to lose that and to get his features more defined. And I still want to look at his X. I want to look at the X in his writings.
So it did seem that he went dark for a while, and it does appear the New York Times reporting that his family also very concerned, so much so that they filed this missing persons report last month, Jake.
All right, Bryn Gingras, thanks so much. Let's bring in CNN Chief Law Enforcement and Intelligence Analyst John Miller, former NYPD Chief of Department Ken Corey, and Ellie Honig, former Assistant U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. Ellie, let me start with you. What do you make of the fact that this defense attorney was hired, not court appointed? And also, what do you make of what we just heard from him?
Well, Jake, it means that the family has enough money to pay for a private attorney, and they've elected to do that. Regarding the extradition, it's really important to understand this is a bureaucratic headache for prosecutors, but it's not going to actually interfere with the substantive prosecution in any way. What's likely to happen now is a few weeks from now, we will have a hearing. There will be a hearing in Pennsylvania State Court. All that prosecutors have to show basically is this person sitting here in the courtroom is the same guy we've charged. It is Luigi Mangione. It's a very low burden of proof. It's a hurdle prosecutors have to jump over, but once they do, he will wind up back here in New York to face murder charges.
So, Ellie, why even do it?
Well, A, you have a constitutional right to do it as a defendant, and B, sometimes you want to buy time as a defense lawyer. You want time to investigate, and sometimes your job as a lawyer is just to put the government and prosecutors through their paces.
Yeah.
Ken, what is the NYPD doing as this process plays out in Pennsylvania?
I want to hear about his health, guys.
We just heard
Mangione will plead not guilty to the gun charges in Pennsylvania, and he says when these murder charges are filed in New York, he anticipates he will plead not guilty to those as well. Here's a little bit more about what he said.
I haven't seen any evidence that says that he's the shooter. So that's, you know, like I said earlier, and I wasn't kidding around. A couple of things. If you're going to report something, report accurately. And remember,
Yeah, his attorney's going to say that as much as they can. Now, a ghost gun, if you have a ghost gun and you get in trouble, possession of it, it depends what state you're in. But it definitely, I mean, you can get up to 5 years in prison. Probably not if it's your first offense. It's probably going to be a hefty fine. I love that you guys are talking about cruises. I'm always down for a cruise. That would be really cool. I do want you guys to see his medical conditions. People are going around that in here. So let me, I'm going to show you the 3D printed gun, and then I'm going to go over his medical conditions. This one they didn't do very well. It says, please looking at Mangione's medical history. I still haven't heard anything. All I'm hearing is cousin Vinny here say he didn't do anything.
And this is not just a small thing. The fundamental concept of American justice is the presumption of innocence, and until you're proven guilty beyond reasonable doubt. And I've seen zero evidence at this point.
Now, those comments came after the court hearing, but right before it got underway, our cameras captured Mangione walking from police custody into the courtroom. There was a bit of a scuffle.
Oh, yeah, we saw that already. All right, let me show you guys the 3D printed thing. I know this, a lot of people don't know, and I can see like full-on conversations going down about a 3D printer. So, from toys to lethal weapons, the controversy of a 3D printed gun. All right, I'm going to go past some of this. I mean, these things can fully be printed depending on how big you have. And right there, she's printing out the handle. There it is, y'all.
When commercial 3D printers first hit the market, they offered people the freedom to manufacture whatever they want in the comfort of their homes. And 3D printing enthusiasts took advantage of that freedom by printing some of the most creative and useful tools. Household items, spare parts for machines, and eventually, guns.
There it is.
Designed in 2013, Liberator was the first example of a fully 3D printed pistol. By today's standards, it looks crude. It can only shoot one .380 ACP cartridge, has a tendency to explode, and it is far from accurate. Still, Liberator started a trend that would grow in the upcoming years and pretty much created the concept of 3D printable ghost guns.
There it is, y'all.
They are nowhere near as reliable or durable as conventionally manufactured guns, but 3D printed ghost guns are untraceable and can circumvent gun control as they can be made at home. Granted, they are not as easy to make as the media suggests. You still need to have a 3D printer, a spool of filament, and comprehensive understanding of how firearms work. And although we refer to these ghost guns as 3D printed, people who want to make one of these will need a couple of spare gun parts. This is how ghost gun production usually goes. 3D printed parts are not exactly known for their durability. FDM 3D printing involves the melting and extrusion of thermoplastic through the printhead. Each part is made with the deposition of thin layers. Depending on how good the adhesion was, these layer lines can be a weak point in the 3D printed part because the layers are always in danger of being separated. Plus, any thermoplastic that has a low enough melting point to be 3D printed is probably not the most suitable for the parts of the gun that get hot during shooting.
But let me tell you what, any engineer's going to know the type of filament that you would use for it. So let's not get that twisted. If you're able to take a part file and throw that into a 3D printer and have it print, you know better. You know what's going to be, what's going to work and what's not. Now, yeah, they're saying this, they want to deter you, but you see how it's basically like printing a piece of paper, but in 3D. That's it. I mean, there's a huge phenomenon in the Bay Area going on with 3D printed guns and people selling them.
That's why 3D printed firearm enthusiasts came up with the idea of hybrid ghost guns. The barrel, nuts, and springs are substituted with spare gun parts, but parts like the body, grip, and stock can be 3D printed and customized to the individual's liking. Their shared interest in ghost guns caused these enthusiasts to create a tight-knit online community that put in the hours and the R&D that was necessary to develop their craft. In just 5 years, 3D printed guns progressed from single-shot plastic pistols like Liberator to hybrid semi-automatic carbines like FGC-9. They got so good, in fact, that they quickly caught the media's attention, and there is a debate on whether these guns should be banned or not. Should they?
Tomorrow morning, the sun will be shining, the birds will be singing, and anyone will be able to legally download instructions to 3D print their own fully functional plastic gun. What could possibly go wrong?
Even if you believe in the First Amendment, there are a couple of issues.
Keep going. I just want you guys to see it.
Beyond that, their appearance can be a problem. If you take
All right, so there's exactly what his GUN looked like. You see that lower right there, the bottom? That's why it looks so weird, and people didn't understand what was going on with it, and they thought it was a vet gun because this part right here was the part printed, and his upper, it's actually a Glock. I'm pretty sure it's a Glock 9 that he modeled it after. So bottom was plastic, top of the Glock 9 was a actual real Glock 9 part, and then he printed his silencer to look like that, except smaller. I'll press play while I'm talking to you guys. I just turned the volume down so you guys can see. That's an AR-15, you guys. That is literally an AR-15 gun right there. And I've shot an AR-15 Ghost printed. There's the 9mm right there. See that? That is the one that he used. Look at that. You just have to know the material to use. And if you're an engineer, trust me, you know how to do that. You know how to do that. Hubs and I got married on Carnival in Catalina. Woo! There it is. You throw that metal piece in there and off you go. There's the exact one that he used. The exact kind of model that he used. Look at that. That's a freaking AR right there. And you know, guys, you guys all know I'm into guns. I'm into legal guns. All right. BC says hero. I hope you went to my poll and voted. All right. There's the interesting engineering facts from Jay at Guilty of Crime. Since I'm the COO of a mechanical engineering company, folks, you're gonna hear it from me. All right, now let's get into his real medical issues. I really want you guys to know about this. What happened to it? Hold on. Wait. Is this it? There it is. Okay, I got you guys. The other video sucked. This should be it right here. Bam.
Was a father to two. He was a husband.
All right, listen.
And he was
I'm
a friend
right
to
now.
many. And yes, he was the CEO of a health insurance company.
All right, next is the medical condition. Leanne says, Jay, why not just buy? Why got the point of copying them? What do you mean? What does that mean? The reason that people are having them printed, especially in California, is because it's really hard to get guns and be able to get licenses. It takes 10 days waiting period for them to do all the mental health checks. My husband said, you're his hero. Well, thank you, husband. Thank you, Pepper. Thank you, husband. And yes, you're very welcome for the lesson on 3D printing. The magazine is the bottom part that holds the bullets. So the magazine is what you put in and you put out. A lot of people call it a clip or a magazine. Right. And it's the filament that makes the 3D printing expensive, but it's not that expensive. Honestly, you can get it for like $30 a reel, and a reel goes really far. And yes, it's untraceable. So just don't use them. Well, I've used them before. I've actually used a 3D printed AR-15, and it's not smooth like you would like it to be, but it will do the job. Put it in, put it out, she says. Yeah, just like that, Jack's dirty mind. Don't forget to hit the like button, girl. My dog's saying he likes it.
In America?
Exactly. And that's the governor of Pennsylvania right there. Let's talk about Luigi Mangione.
Medical condition. Finally, we get a good analysis on it. All right. Probably $5 on Timo. No. Ladies, mama, thank you. I appreciate you. I love you guys. I feel bad for him if he ends up doing time with that back injury. He's going to do lots of time with that back injury. We're going to look at his ex after this.
It seems he moved to Hawaii, right? Life was pretty good for this kid. Growing up and then had a good job and then moved to Hawaii. This is January to June of 2022. Moves into a place called Surf Break Co-Living. $2,000 a month. Beachside property for people who were doing remote work. While he's there, he spent a lot of time physical fitness, doing yoga, and ran the book club. Like, life is good. Life is really good. Let's bring in our guest, still with us, retired police commander Mike King, and joining us, board-certified orthopedic spine surgeon at his practice, the Spine Pro in Beverly Hills.
All right, we're now going to talk about the villain or the hero, whatever you want to call it. We're going to talk about him. Well, in my opinion, he's definitely the villain. He took this Brian Thompson's life, and it's a lot more meaningful. His life was more meaningful than the money. I'm sure Brian can't take it with him anymore. He made mistakes, probably. I'm sure he realized that in the last seconds that he was alive. So now we're going to find out about his medical condition in prison. He's not going to get a fraction of what he would had he just stayed on the beaches of Hawaii and lived out his life. Idiot. Sorry, but son, you should have just lived out your life with the family money that they were given to you.
California, Dr. Houman Melamed.
California, baby.
Dr. Melamed, great to have you here. Great to see you tonight. I want to go through a little bit of the history because a lot of people have been talking about his back condition. And I'm going to walk you through it. Luigi Mangione takes a surfing class and injures his back. He aggravated his, now I don't know how to say this word, but it's his spondylolisthesis, a condition he'd been dealing with since his childhood. The incident left him in bed for a week. In an alleged Reddit account, he later described the incident. He said, "My back and hips locked up after the accident. Intermittent numbness has become constant. I'm terrified of the implications." His friend and founder of Surf Break spoke to CNN and described the condition. His spine was kind of misaligned. He said his lower vertebrae were almost like half an inch off, and I think it pinched a nerve. It was really...
At 26, that's terrible, you guys. And you all know we all have to live with things. You know, I've been tattooing for over 25 years now. And, you know, I've got wrist issues, hand issues. My hands lock up. I've got back issues from typing and tattooing. All up here is locked up. So we all have something to deal with. At 26, baby boy wasn't able to deal with it, even with mommy and daddy's money. That's not a hero. That's what I say. But you guys make up your mind. Go to the poll and check it out. And I'm here for a while, you guys. I'm here streaming. I want to get this story out so that I can start covering other ones. So if you guys are here with me, please do. There's 201 people here. I've got so much more to say tonight, especially since I'm upset about my insurance company and not doing what they need to do. All right. They're going to cover a couple of squares of my roof, y'all.
Really traumatic and difficult, you know, when you're in your early 20s and you can't do some basic things. He knew that dating and being physically intimate with his back condition wasn't possible. I remember him telling me that, and my heart just breaks. Then Mangione apparently had some back surgery. He flew back to the mainland for the surgery.
You guys go to my page. Carrie made me a little like meme thing, and we said, "Is he an alien? What's going on with his teeth?" Go take a look at it. I posted one like that, and I posted another one with him doing some crazy shit, and it got over 1,000 views within like seconds. So anyway, I'm here for it. I'm gonna stay here as long as I can to get this out to you guys. What's up, Marcy? As you guys roll in, hit that like button. Let's get this channel to 20,000 subscribers sooner than later. It also talked about his sex life and him not having one. So when I talked about incel, I don't think it was that. I think it was his back. And for having that 6-pack or 12-pack like that, he wasn't getting any. So I guess that brought some frustration. He knew that dating and being physically intimate was not possible. That's what hands
surgery,
are for, buddy.
And there's been some reports that it didn't really go very well. A source from his high school described this surgery to Barstool and said the back surgery changed everything for him, and he went absolutely crazy. And that's an image that we're looking at that he posted on his Twitter account. So giving you that information, what can you tell us, Dr. Melamed, about his condition, the level of pain, and what could have been done for him, and what you think happened as a result of this surgery?
So it's thank you very much for having me. So it's always easy to play the Monday morning quarterback, and I think we don't have all of the facts yet. But from everything you've described to me so far, what you've said, he had what we call a slip vertebrae, where one vertebrae is slipping off on top of another.
Oh my
vertebrae.
God.
And, that is not an easy operation to do it properly. You have to take your time to do it properly. And just looking at the x-rays, having been doing this for 20 years, the x-rays don't look good. The surgery, unfortunately, I don't think was done properly. One of the screws, the last screw at the bottom, you can see it's pretty long. It's sticking out. Whether that's irritating a nerve or not, I don't know. We need other images. One of the screws, the top screw, possibly maybe violating the disc space, which is not good. And then, worst of all, the bone-on-bone collapse that he had with the split vertebrae, that unfortunately was never fixed. And I wouldn't be surprised if Luigi was in persistent numbness or shooting pain down his leg.
Now, that's why I'm showing this synth, because yes, United Healthcare effed him up, and I bet you that's a huge motivator. Now, in his manifesto, he talks about his mom, he talks about him. It's absolutely just, people don't do that. People don't just go around taking people's lives because of it. He must have really felt like this was not manageable to blow the rest of his life away. Now, think about it. He could have been out on the beach taking the best drugs that he could because he's rich and his parents would do anything for him. But instead, he did that. And now he's going to be in prison where it's hot in the summer, cold in the winter. You get half-ass showers. You got people all over you. They're going to want him to be their girlfriend. I'll tell you that. He's a good-looking guy. So you could see his badonkadonk right there. You can see he has a nice ass over there. It looks like he's a little pretty guy there. So he could literally be out on the beaches, taking the best meds, drinking a cocktail. But no, he decided to be in prison now. So, that's on him, I guess.
If he had weakness or he had chronic back pain and the bone did not fuse, I wouldn't be surprised that the basically clouded his judgment. And I know, I've had patients, unfortunately, I know who've committed suicide because of unbearable pain, and they knew the outcome is bad. They either were denied surgery or had a bad surgery and ruined their life.
Dr. Molamed, as we think about what he's going through, at a young age, this is all happening, and it is a condition apparently that he had his whole life, and then there was this incident with the surfing. Is it anything that could have been corrected down the road with maybe a second surgery or some other type of intervention? That's one question. And then the follow-up, in terms of the pain, is there any way to manage that? Because we know, we've been hearing, opioids and all the potential problems with that as being a completely separate issue. What are your thoughts about the pain management?
So to answer your first question, yes, a revision surgery most likely could have been done, and if done properly, could have been successful. About almost 30 to 40% of my practice is composed on.
And I think he kind of just went inward, you guys. The surgery messed him up. He went inward instead of talking to his parents or talking to a therapist or even talking to his friends. Because I have those interviews that I want to play also. I want you to hear what his friends say. They had no idea he was going through this. So, if you guys, it's the whole see something, say something. In his case, I wish he would have said something and try to get it fixed. That guy had everything in the world that I dream about. This is why I work day after day, is to have the luxury life, the vacations, the hanging out with the friends, being in Hawaii, my second favorite place on the planet. And he threw it all away. And to me, I hope he gets I hope he feels like it's just.
Unfortunately, of revision surgeries where I am, I hate to say it, but patients have had prior surgery by somebody else, and I have to revise it and fix it. It requires meticulous, and in his age, I think could have been done properly. The second question about the pain, I personally.
All right, you tell me, Sin. Now, money doesn't take the pain away, but let me tell you what. Would you rather be in the predicament like Sadie's mama, where she calls me all the time and can't get an appointment for 2 months, and then she goes and gets her medication and she can't get it because it's not there? Or be in pain and, man, let me let you in, ma'am, right away. I'll see you tomorrow. How about I come to your house? Oh, you can't get the medication? Let me get it for you. No problem. I know somebody. That's the difference between living with pain in normal people's life and living in pain with all the advantages that this guy had, and he still has it. He still has it. It does help. It does help. I have to disagree. I love you, Synth, but I'm gonna have to agree to disagree. It's gonna help you a lot more than not having it. No, I get it, but you're gonna have an advantage. Having money gives you an advantage to getting everything.
We have been completely trying to be narcotic free since March of 2018. For almost 7 years, we've been narcotic free. And I think the dark pathway, I'm sure all the law enforcement can comment, is that this narcotic, given
it helps.
Patients get narcotics and they become addicted, it really goes into this dark pathway that can ruin somebody's life, and they can make all kinds of bad decisions. It can make them snap, all kinds of stuff, psychological stuff can come out of it. And I don't believe in a pain management with just narcotics. I think
2 kids and a wife was left behind, Kawana. They're not talking much about it. And I love you guys. I sympathize with what everybody goes through. I sympathize with Sadie's mama almost on a daily basis. So I do understand, and I know, like, my mom is in pain. She had surgery on her foot, and she's had surgery on the back of her neck. And I gotta say, it's probably made it worse, you guys. It's probably made it worse. But I do say that if you have the advantages of money, and he is a rich boy, his family owns 3 different giant a resort and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of things that his family could have done to help him. You could also do pain management. So when I'm arguing the point, it's me saying he could have done something about it instead of taking Brian Thompson's life, is what I'm saying, you guys. I'm not arguing with you guys. I'm telling you he could have done something better than take that guy's life, which isn't going to fix his health.
If you have a mechanical problem, you should try to fix it and coach the patient psychologically that narcotics are not going to help you. We can try physical therapy, massage, laser therapy, cold therapy, cold plunge therapy. There's a lot of other modalities you can use, what I call multimodal pain management, holistic pain management. Use food as medication, anti-inflammatory diet, use fish oil, turmeric, natural anti-inflammatory supplements. When you really focus on the patient as a whole, you try to help them that way to manage the pain until they can get the correct surgery done.
All right, Mike King, I want to turn to you now. Are you shocked, if in fact he's the killer, right? Exactly. If he's the killer, that he's going after UnitedHealth Group, right? He's suffering back pain, I get it, but it seems like potentially a botched surgery, potentially a condition he was born with, and yet it seems to be manifesting itself towards the health insurance industry here. What are your thoughts about putting those pieces together in profiling this alleged killer?
Well, I really appreciate sharing time with the doc on this one, because we have to look at what motivates someone to commit a crime like this and to have such a shift in their personality and the way they go about life. I mean, he was a pretty fun-loving person from all the reports prior to the last year or so, but we know that he was working for a company in California that probably had healthcare coverage, Vinny. I looked into that company. UnitedHealth Group isn't listed on that company, but
now, we all know when we heard about UnitedHealth Group and this crime, we said, oh, we know why they were targeted. I don't know why Brian Thompson was targeted. What's up, ES? How you doing? But it's not going to help change anything. He was very smart. He's very smart. He could have done something other than that. Dr. John, Hidden True Crime, thinks he's likely to try to end his life. More analysis to come. Well, thank you. Kawana, thank you. I'm glad. That's why I'm here, you guys, so we can talk things out. We can agree to disagree. I can call him a villain. You can call him a hero, and we're still cool at the end of the day. Also, go buy you guys a drink, give you a tattoo, whatever. All right, let's listen to Martin. And then we're going to listen to his friends.
We know since 23, he's not been working for that company, been in Hawaii. So did he revert back to his parents' coverage? So the question I have is, were his parents covered by UnitedHealth Group in this particular case? And then second to that is because he just turned 26 in May, and the Affordable Health Care Act would have removed him from dependent coverage. was he having trouble with coverage? And he shouldn't have been having trouble with pre-existing conditions. But I really appreciated the doc giving us information about what would have happened medically, because the question I have as an investigator was, by all accounts, he didn't have any pain medications with him when he was arrested. There's no indication that he was having a hard time moving when he was firing those shots and cycling that weapon and reacting so smoothly. I'm not discounting at all that he probably has serious back pain. We don't even know if that's really his imagery from what I've been able to see on public records, but of a back surgery. But all of those things make me say, is the behavior matching up with the diagnoses? And if he was in that much pain, would he have been packing meds around or been under the influence? But what a great defense if he is.
Yeah. Mike King, completely unrelated question here. But
What's
this
up?
image, this original booking photo, I noticed.
And don't forget, you guys, if you guys like the way I present true crime, you like the energy that I bring, you like the community that's here, do hit the like button and support my channel. And if you don't have a membership, Sassy Cassie, get yourself a membership. We're going to have a special Christmas members only thing going on. I'm going to have some giveaways, and I am streaming later than normal tonight because I really am very excited to get to 20,000 subscribers very soon. So I'm going to keep going because that's how excited I am, and that's how much I want to present this case to you in the entirety, because I do have more Jen Soto content to get to you guys, and I can't do that when I'm presenting other cases. All right, let's keep going, and then we're going to listen to his family. We only got about 2 minutes left in this. Hang in there with me, you guys.
It looks like he may have wet his pants. I have to ask you, law enforcement, when people who aren't used to being arrested are arrested, is this common if in fact that's what happened here?
She's home.
Yeah, I mean, people get scared and they do some pretty wild things. Again, well, I don't know with the back injury, the doc might be able to answer if there may be incontinency problems associated with the back injury. But it also might be that he was held a long time and his pride or ego or law enforcement didn't give him a chance to get to the bathroom in time.
I got that. Do you think it could at all be related to the back injury, Dr. Mohamed?
You know, very rarely. In this case, my first instinct is that probably not. I don't think he would have had that. But, you know, you have to look at all the imaging to be able to comment about it. But usually the type of a problem he had, it's rare to have incontinence issues.
All right, Mike King, thank you so much for your help. And Dr. Mohamed, sorry I butchered your name. I may have done it again. My apologies for all that. But thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for helping people with their pain. Back pain is real and it's serious, and thank you so much for the work you do there. All right, when we come back, we're going to focus on the defendant's friends and family. What are they saying tonight? Folks who watch Court TV.
You guys know how much I love the family. All right, so I'm going to do my own digging here. I'm going to put the friends and family on myself with the interviews that I did get myself. And yeah, so let's do that. I was just talking to my son, you guys. Say a prayer for my son. He's been at his job for 4 years now, and they fired him. They freaking fired him. I don't know exactly all the details why, but he's looking for another job, and it kind of sucks because it's right in the holiday time. I have no idea why they fired him, but he needs a new job. So yeah, say a prayer for my son. And you know, he's lucky he's got his 2 moms here. If he didn't, you know, we could help him pay rent and stuff and whatnot. But yeah, hit the like button for my son Christian, for my daughter Reese, who's already home, and for us. All right. He's got ADHD real bad. And I have a feeling the ADHD had something to do with him getting rid of him. But yeah, we'll say a prayer all around. He's also, like I said, lucky he's got 2 kick-ass moms that will help him out. So, all right, let me fix my hair for you guys. Love you guys. Let's keep going. Let's listen to his friends. Here's the second interview of the friend. Let's go.
Friend and former roommate of Luigi Mangione, RJ Martin. RJ, you lived with, first off, thank you for being with us. I know it's I know it's difficult to come on and have to
Yes.
talk about something like this, but you lived with Luigi in Hawaii. Can you tell us a little bit about the guy that you knew?
Thank you.
Yes, so I founded a co-living space called Surf Break.
All right, and do me a favor if you guys haven't. His first interview came directly from him. This guy has a channel, and so I documented his first interview, not being on news. So go back and watch that. It's only about 9 minutes on my channel, and support my channel. And let's listen to his now him reaching out to MSNBC.
Break co-living, and Luigi applied to be a member, and we do an interview process. We do full background checks. And I was fortunate enough to interview him. And from, the initial conversation, he was a great fit for our community, thoughtful individual, has a great job, was looking to come to Hawaii to give back, to stay healthy, to make new friends. He really was an ideal member for our community at Surf Break. And he continued on. He did great things when he was with us. He helped spearhead a book club. He was great to other members. He was always giving and considerate and thoughtful. I remember cooking meals with him and joking around, had a great sense of humor. We bonded over working out, over the intellectual conversations we had at book club, and the thoughtful, young man that I got to know. It seems completely incompatible with an assassin.
Now, the book club reminds you all the snippets that have come from him in the book club, and him giving reviews and such happens around this time frame, and nobody saw it coming. Yeah, I do. I feel awful for people who live in pain. Prayers to you for having reconstructive surgery and having to pay for it. And that's why I say this man here had Ivy League grad, expensive schools, rich parents. I just can't understand. And if this does change the healthcare industry, I'd be very surprised.
You've talked about him, the back surgery that he had, the back pain that he had. Did he ever express any anger toward the healthcare industry? Anything that would seem resonant to you now that all of this is unfolding?
No, he was one of the most positive people I know. He was always a cup half full kind of person, the kind of person that people enjoyed spending time with. I always look forward to our hangouts. We had intellectual conversations about structural problems that the nation faces, whether they're governmental or corporate, but nothing stands out specifically regarding.
Well, tell me about the structural and corporate issues that you guys would talk about. What were those like, those conversations?
Well, the counterculture that America had in the 1960s made it really clear that we're on a course of action that's destroying the planet for the present gain, for future loss. And I think that conversation and that data and that information has only become more clear and more loud as time goes on. So those would be things we talk about, or perhaps how governmental institutions are failing our citizens, whether it is, education or healthcare or wars that we wage. These are intellectual conversations that, we enjoyed having, whether it was over a meal or at the park during sunset, as we collaborated and had, great talks at our book club.
Regarding the book club, what's the deal with the reading of Ted Kaczynski's book? How did that come to be?
Every week it rotated who got to pick the next reading, or, every 2 weeks, however long it took us to get through something. And another member and I kind of half jokingly proposed it. I kind of always wanted to read it, but never had the motivation. And I figured, well, we'd have to read it for book club. I'll have to get through it. So it was actually my idea and another member's idea. It wasn't anything Luigi was inspired to dig into.
It is interesting, having read the Goodreads review of it and seeing what's going on right now. Obviously, he's just a suspect and no one's been convicted. But seeing the totality of what we've been able to understand about him online, including the 3-page document that police have given us a few details about, including anger toward the healthcare system and United specifically. I just wonder, now that you're looking back and you're putting these pieces together as we are, if there's anything that, does this still surprise you? Are you taken aback? Do you think something might have happened in the time between you last saw him and this?
Well, he was absolutely a kind person, not violent, never one to even watch, violent sports or talk about guns, even never once popped up in conversation. So it's beyond surprising that, the Luigi that I knew is completely incompatible with an assassin.
You say that I read that you said that you lost contact with him. He left Hawaii, got back surgery. He told you there was a story about it. He wanted to tell you in person, but you never had that in-person conversation. How long? When was the last time you guys were able to connect?
That was earlier this year, maybe March-ish, when we had our last text communications. I followed up with him in the next 3 months in a row, just kind of like, hey, what's up, bro? And didn't hear back from him. That
was the hash brown, the last hash brown he's going to eat for a while. McDonald's. Too bad he wasn't at a better restaurant. He did have $8,000 on him, you guys. He definitely wasn't hurting for money. I wonder what's going on with him. And there's a statement that was supposed to come out today on YouTube. He was supposed to have released it on YouTube. And it says, if you're watching this, it means I already got caught, but they stopped it. So we didn't get to see it. So it's very interesting. Rachel Burton says, I deal with 24/7 back pain. Sounds like a lot of people sympathize with him. His friends sure didn't see it coming. I have one more after this for like 2 minutes. I just want you to see the friends and the totality of this case.
Our friendship was such that I didn't assume anything. I didn't take it the wrong way. I just knew that, when we did reconnect, our friendship would start from where it left off, and just assume that maybe he'd gotten a new job, moved back home. But I had absolutely zero thought or inclination that something had happened to him.
RJ Martin, thank you really.
Well, they did report it missing, you guys. They did indeed. All right, let's take a look at this other friend, and we'll hop on to his ex. His ex, like Twitter, not ex like ex-girlfriend. All right, this guy.
Pretty frequently.
Corey Way of Scottsdale went to the same high school as 26-year-old Luigi Mangione, the suspect in the murder of Brian Thompson, CEO of UnitedHealth Group.
He was like a leader in our class, so I'm not quite sure the exact clubs because it's a while back, but he was like a leader of clubs. He was in many clubs. He was also like a soccer player as well.
Way says they graduated from Gilman School, class of 2016, a private all-boys school in Baltimore. He describes it as a small high school with about 85 to 100 students in each grade.
He spoke at our graduation. Every year they have like somebody who's, exceeds academically and in and out of the classroom, and they have them speak in front of our high school. It's weird saying it, but yeah, he was that person that we chose to speak. So
nothing unusual stood out to Way years ago.
Everyone just knew him as like a quiet, reserved, nice kid. And he was obviously really intelligent, and everybody can tell that by his resume, of course.
As the manhunt began for the killer seen on surveillance video shooting Thompson and then fleeing, Way became interested in the high-profile case, but didn't make the connection.
I had no hindrance that it was him. I mean, in the back of my mind, I was like, I feel like that face is familiar, but it was like subconsciously, not really like on the forefront.
It wasn't until he saw the mugshot and video of Mangione being taken into custody that he knew it was Luigi Mangione, his former classmate, someone he's lost touch with over the years.
My initial reactions were just shock, surprise, and I just would never expect someone who went to our school to, be involved in this. So it was just shock, really. I'm still shocked.
Yeah.
Andrew, it's been about a decade since graduation. He says he kept in contact with him.
All right. So those are the only two people that I see so far that actually talk about him. The family gave a generic, very, 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 very generic statement. Very interesting. Most of his social media got taken down. Still go vote anymore. Go vote some more. It's still up. Let's look at his X page. You can get a clue. So many things coming out all in one day. All right, so you guys saw this. I showed you some things about this. He's from Honolulu, is where he came from now. And he has ties to the Bay Area because he went to Stanford. I see YouTube bad actors on here again following him. And we read some of these things, but you can see he gets kind of philosophical on his page. I think we saw this last time. The extinction, immortality, where's better, likely possible states for human race after ASI. Let's go a little bit farther down because he's got more things. The anxious generation. What else has he got? It's amazing how caffeine really is the only drug that has achieved this level of social acceptance. And then it comes down to say the first line of cocaine in the morning is one of my favorite things in life. Without my morning joint, I can't function. A lot of reposts. Let's see. Cellular agriculture. The dog says hi. April 18th. I'm looking for some of the thing. Now, this is when I saw this, I was like, I kind of knew he was into that like hacker type of culture. Modern Japanese urban environment. Let's see. I'm looking for something that some of the posts that he put that were really compelling, but you got to go through quite a bit because he posted a lot and then he stopped. These are phenomenal. Took me years to learn my own 50 things I wish I'd known from the beginning. Interesting. What are your thoughts on this quote from Jay? Go down in history. Must run philosophical text. My book, What's Our Problem, is now available. GPT. Yeah, I'm not finding the ones that everyone's highlighting. They must have gone like really far down with the being, seasonal and circadian rhythms and their disruptions, profound impact on mental health. Now, he's talking about mental health here, you guys. Manic, mixed, depression. I wonder if that's what happened, you guys. If you look in here, you see, I mean, I wonder if depression kicked in and then anger kicked in because he couldn't do a lot of the things that he did. And then it turned into that. Thank you so much, Kawana. You're awesome for the Guilty of Crime membership. I know the holidays are coming and things are tight. So thank you. I have so many things to show you guys today. So we did the meme. We looked at the manifesto. He was denied bond. Oh, this is what I want to show you. Okay, I got some more things for you guys. Check this out. If you haven't seen it yet, let's watch it together. I love it. All right, I'm gonna get out of here because I don't feel like reading anymore. It's been almost 2.5 hours. I worked all day long, so thank you guys for supporting the channel. Now let's take one that I didn't expect to come up. I did not expect Dr. G to do this. Let me read some of your comments. Ava Sim, you're 100% right, Jay. It's not worth what he's going through, and his family must be, not to mention the victim's family and friends. Right. I wish someone could have talked him into something else, but he didn't talk to anybody, you guys. You have the same thing. Very painful. I appreciate you guys for being here and, support the channel and having these conversations because they're very, the conversations you guys are having in chat are very personal conversations that many people won't share. So thank you. All right. Still listening. Michelle Lalonde. Watching the world drift away. People are just so frustrated with life and acting out irrationally due to feeling no one cares. Just my opinion. No rhyme or real reason. No, I agree. And that's why I ask, do you think he's a hero? Do you think he's a villain? And why are people saying that they've got the wrong guy? All right, let's listen to Dr. G's opinion on him, his behavior, and body language. Very interesting. And I haven't seen this yet. I wanted to watch it with you guys.
Here. I'm a clinical and forensic psychologist as well as a body language expert. And today we're going to be analyzing the behavior and body language of Luigi Mangione. Luigi Mangione was recently arrested as the prime suspect for the murder of Brian Thompson, the CEO of UnitedHealth Group. Before we get started with this, a couple of quick things. One, I wanted to make sure you know this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my opinions. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content just like this. All right, let's go. Now, we don't have a lot of footage, but we're going to look at a couple of clips today to see what we can glean from his behavior and his body language. Let's jump right in. Now, the first thing I want you to pay attention to is the position of his chin and his nose, the way his neck is very exposed. Now, when we're feeling very vulnerable, we put our chin down. We try to protect our neck because it's a very vulnerable location. But when we put our chin up, that shows that we don't feel threatened by others. It's a sign of confidence. Some people will interpret it as arrogance. It really depends on the context of the situation. But as he's doing this right now, he doesn't hang his head down in shame. Let's go back and then we're going to keep watching.
Yes. Yes, they do.
He's also walking with a good amount of intensity. Look at this right here.
He looks proud of what he did, like minus the peeing his pants. Just saying.
He's keeping his chin up, like I said, keeping his neck exposed. Oftentimes when people are feeling shame, they're going to look down, and when they're feeling defensive, they're going to block their neck. So when they're looking down in shame, that's not necessarily defensiveness. That's not wanting people to see their face. He doesn't seem to be ashamed of anything. And he may be experiencing fear right now, but that's not obvious. He's not showing body language associated with fear. Let's watch this sequence all over once again.
All right. And we're going to look at the motive after this, you guys. Change does need to happen. I agree. Change Lynette, proud for sure. That's the first thing I saw.
You know, one thing you're seeing is that he's looking around very casually. Now, that may not mean much to you, but one of the things they're going to be, I'm sure, exploring here is whether or not he's got some sort of severe mental health issue, whether or not he's disconnected from reality. There's nothing obvious about that right now. If there are those kinds of issues, he seems organized enough to recognize the situation. He seems to appear to know what's going on around him. You're not seeing a blank stare or any unusual sort of looks on his face.
He did pee his pants, you guys. He pissed his pants. I have a picture. Very arrogant, that's for sure. He thinks he's
also
a hero.
Taking big strides. Once again, there does seem to be a certain degree of confidence with what's going on right now. And maybe there's a sense of pride. There doesn't seem to be any obvious shame, though. Now we're going to see him going into court for an extradition hearing because they're going to try to extradite him to New York.
Very true. And completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
So I talked about the intensity before. We're seeing that much more clearly now. Let's see if we can see a little bit more of his face. You can see he's baring his teeth. He's got his brow furrowed down. Those are obvious signs of anger. Once again, he has his chin up. He's standing up straight. There's anger. There's confidence. Now, I talked to the last one about how he doesn't look disorganized. We don't know whether there's anything mental health-wise. This behavior, I'm sure, is going to bring more of that into question. I don't know his mental health background, but I'm sure that will be explored in court. Let's keep watching.
And an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
And before we get into the next one, Lynette, I agree. Pee goes downward, but not when you're sitting in it. If I was to just sit here right now and I don't have a penis, obviously he does. Whatever position it was in, if he was just sitting down in the car and he pissed himself, it's not going to go down. It's going to stay in his lap unless he's moving around. So he didn't stand up. I don't believe he stood up when he was peeing himself. I believe he was sitting down in the back of the car and he peed himself. Then when he got up to take the picture, it was all wet in his crotch area. So that's what I'm saying. Well, if that's the case, wouldn't it be up his arse? No, not necessarily, Leanne. If you want me to find a good pee expert, kind of like a blood spatter expert, or just spill something in my lap right now, it will stay in my lap. It's not going to run down unless it's just like this huge stream. All right, but we can certainly do that. I don't either, but they're on sale. If he wasn't attractive, the internet wouldn't give a care about him. It's how much. Yeah, I agree. Justifying literal murder. Have I ever peed myself? Probably, Leanne. Probably, but not while sitting in it. I'm sure that I couldn't hold something and I maybe ran to the bathroom or something like that. But if I'm sitting in my lap, it usually ends up down. Yes, I agree. But yeah, we need a P analyst. Well, instead of agreeing to disagree, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a P analyst on the show.
And it's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Thank you.
Now, I want you to pay a close attention to his facial expressions here, because I talked about anger before, but this seems more like rage. And if he is, in fact, guilty of what he's been accused of, you're maybe getting a better idea of the level of rage that he may be experiencing.
Luigi, you do it? And it's completely out of touch.
See, you can really see the brow and the baring of the teeth there. There truly appears to be furiosity, anger, rage below whatever it is he's saying. I still can't fully understand what he's saying, but it seems to be something about the intelligence of the American people.
And an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Now, that
It
was
was.
real rage
Thank
right
you.
there. You heard he stomped. And if you see his face, let me see if
That was the only reason I even said that he urinated on himself, is because somebody brought it to my attention. I zoomed in and I thought it was the color of his jeans. You know how sometimes jeans are faded more in the crotch area, or they're not faded in the crotch area. They're different colored jeans, but I looked it up, and in fact, there's like 20 channels reporting on the fact that he peed his pants. So, Rage Against the Machine, that's right. All right. Yeah, we can agree to disagree. I think he pissed himself.
I can get a good shot of his face right here. Look at the rage right there. You heard him stomp and then say this. There seems to be a truly burning rage inside of him as he says this, to let out that stomp, to let out that furiosity while he has police leading him. Oftentimes people feel the need to behave in a certain way in situations like this. Oftentimes there's some degree of compliance. I'm not saying he should or shouldn't or anything like that. I'm just saying that typically what we see right here, we're seeing somebody that does not care about the context of what's going on. He has something he wants to say, and the rage below it all is just exploding forth.
Oh, yeah.
The intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
We'll go ahead and stop here. Hopefully this is giving you a better idea of some of the behavior and body language we're already seeing from him. Now, something that was said in court was they asked him if he had any drug or mental health issues, and he said no on both accounts. Now, one thing to be very clear on is that for people that have either substance or mental health issues, typically are going to answer no to that question unless they have a very well-documented history that somehow is relevant. But we can't assume that that's necessarily true. This is going to be a very long and complicated process. I'm sure we will find out more as we continue to go on. But just because he said there's no drugs or mental health, I don't think you can take things like that at face value. I'm not suggesting there are those issues, but you just can't eliminate them just based on him saying that. Obviously, we saw today someone who is expressing an intense amount of rage, someone who doesn't seem to have any shame right now, and someone who also appears very confident in this situation. But whether or not there are underlying mental health issues that are related to that, I'm sure we will find out. If you have any other thoughts, please let me know in the comments below. Last thing.
I do have a thought. I actually want to share a thought about, let's see what Jimmy Kimmel says. I do want to watch the motive, but I want to break it up a little bit. Let's see if we can get a laugh about that. Some reason, America thirsts after suspected healthcare killer. Let's see what he says.
Do you guys think the United Healthcare CEO killer is hot? Friend replies, yes. I love Luigi. I think he's gay, though. This is an exchange between two of our producers. We'll call them Elphaba and Glinda. My TikTok is flooded. My mom chain's going nuts. That's my TikTok. Everyone is obsessed. People are saying a New York jury has the power to find him innocent because we all love him. I'm not mad at him. This one's from Susie D. She got hurt. This text from her mother. Am I the only person wondering that if the gunman had tweezed and reshaped his eyebrows, he would have never been caught? Haha, good point. His eyebrows are very defined. Next one. Please tell me you're as obsessed as I am with this handsome CEO killer. Yes, so many questions. Like, can I fix you?
That's actually
and Veronica says, I need him so bad. No, like so bad, so bad. Okay, so I would visit him in prison and bake him cookies maybe, perhaps more, but I haven't thought that far ahead. And it's not just women. This is from the husband of one of our staffers. Did you see the assassin? Yes, I'm so upset. Like, excuse me, LOL. I'm about to be a jailhouse bride. Because damn Shorty is so fine. I'm dead or willing to be. And one more from a young woman in our segment department, texting all my friends in New York that I hope they get called to jury duty. God, I want to do jury duty so bad. Well, at least it's stirring up a passion for civic duty, I guess.
Right?
What
There
is
you go.
going on? There are dozens.
There you go. That's America, you guys. That's how many people, and I'm sure there's a ton more. I was watching other things, other just random things where people were just so pumped about this guy, so hyped up. So hopefully you guys went and did the poll, voted. I do want to take a look at this. Suspect exposing shocking motives in manifesto. Let's see what they say.
26-year-old Maryland man as a suspect in last week's assassination of UnitedHealth CEO Brian Thompson, who was shot from behind outside a New York City hotel hours before a shareholder conference. Luigi Nicholas Mangione was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania on December 9th of 2024. Mangione graduated from the elite Gilman School.
Well, we know that. Oh, there it is. There it is. There's the thing that, hold on, this is the thing that he supposedly posted.
Gotten limited information, and it seems another video is scheduled for in the morning. Let's watch what we have so far.
Thank you. Now, here's the thing. It's called The Truth, and it makes you rate. If you see this, I'm already under arrest. And you guys can go watch the rest of that Kimmel thing if you want. I'm trying to make sure I get everything that I wanted to get in on the show since. So I'll drop the link in chat if you guys want to watch more funny things. I just want to get through my content today. All right. So, but I appreciate that. I've got like 15 emails sitting there in my inbox that want me to play this or put that or do this or say that. I can't do it all, y'all. Leanne, you make my day, but you 8 hours out. Sorry, you could come to California if you want. Come on to the United States. Squeaky wheel. Luigi is right where he needs to be in jail, getting his meal served with the steel door. No internet, TV, or cell phone. Right? I like funny things too. I just wanted to get this to the truth. Yes. Yeah, that thing's weird. I'm not sure. Well, eventually you'll get a membership, Ava. I'm sure you will. All right, there it says down there soon. It said December 11th. All is scheduled. Be patient. And this was supposed to be a post from him.
Hello, 47.
You will seem crazy, especially to those closed-minded. Find the truth. California isn't afraid of you. People, there's a reason for everything. Find your reason. I had an incident where I needed back surgery. This is from him, right, you guys? This is from Luigi, I believe. You say from who? From Luigi. A close friend will post a video scheduled, deny, defend, oppose. It's from Luigi. Take your time, find the truth. The truth is harming.
Arriving at this courthouse there in Pennsylvania, in Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania, taken in custody in Altoona. Let's just listen in here to this. All right, that was just Luigi Mangione as a strong person of interest in this case. Taken into custody, led with his hands behind his back. And I do want to...
And he's in custody in connection to the shooting death of UnitedHealth Group CEO Brian Thompson.
Taking a look at right there. This is 26-year-old Luigi Mangione, born in Maryland. He has been arrested on gun charges. That's what the arraignment will be on. Law enforcement officials from New York and the FBI arrived in Altoona just a short time ago and will be interviewing the suspect in an effort to gain information on what authorities call a targeted and premeditated murder of Brian Thompson.
Upon further investigation, officers recovered a firearm on his person, as well as a suppressor, both consistent with the weapon used in the murder. They also
It can't be him because you can schedule something, Patty. So I'm not sure. I'm not going to say what it is. Yeah, a hashtag arrest all the crazy, but I can say, Patty, I could put out a video right now and I can schedule it for 20 days out and then go get myself arrested and it will come on while I'm in jail. So it's a good possibility. Yeah, it's definitely a good possibility. Whether it is or not, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out. Maybe we'll debunk it. Either way, like Foxy Amazon says, California, we know how to party, so we're having a good time today. We're getting to the problem of things, but we're also laughing here and there. And I see some of you guys possibly being on the peeing your pants boat and the peeing your pants conversation. So if you like that, hit the like button, subscribe, and get a membership if you can. This is supposed to be about the motive, but I'm not sure so far what this is, what this video is.
That is in that document. For instance, CNN is reporting that some of the writings include, quote, "These parasites had it coming, and I do apologize for any strife and trauma, but it had to be done."
Police responded to the location for reports of a person matching the description of the man wanted for questioning in Thompson's murder. But Altoona police said they initially took him into custody on related charges. The criminal complaint on this specific incident by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania stated the following from the officer who wrote the report. On December 9th of 2024 at 9:14 hours, the Altoona Police Department were dispatched to 407 East Plank Road, Altoona, for a suspicious male who resembled the male from a recent shooting in New York on December 4th. Officers were advised in the dispatch notes that the male was wearing a medical mask and a beanie. Upon arrival, officers were able to locate the male matching the aforementioned description, sitting in the rear of the male if they had been to New York City recently, and the male became quiet and started forgery and false identification to law enforcement.
All right, that's definitely not a motive. I'm going to stop that one. I did want to see that thing that I had brought up, though, and I love that you guys are talking about pisser. You guys are still. I think sometimes you guys are behind, and so that's funny. Yeah, I don't want to get into the smoke evidence. There's a video out there, and it shows the shooting, and it talks about the gun, but I'm afraid to put that up. So many things, you guys, so many things. I'm looking at this document behind the scenes and wow, there's a lot here. Petty. Did you guys know his father's Louis Mangione, 71 years old, and his mother 62 years old? You guys haven't seen a lot of the behind the scenes stuff on his family, have you? I don't think so. Okay, at 449 shows and quotes the real manifesto. So we got into that. And let's take a look at this real quick. I wanted to talk about the gun a little more. I just don't want something to be unedited. All right. 1 second. No, they're not letting me use this, Petty. So I think I have one more thing, and then I think that's about it. Unless I want to get into reading. I don't want to get into reading right now. All right. Did you guys see the denied bail and what they were talking about here? Hold on. Let's go into this. Let me listen to it for a minute.
Charged with a significant assault, and there is no more significant assault than homicide. What the defense attorney said is simply the judge was permitted to give bail if the judge chose to. The judge was also permitted and authorized under the Constitution to deny bail as he chose to do based on the factors that the judge had available. Yes, ma'am. I'm not sure. Yes, ma'am.
Expect other charges in this case?
Again, I'm not going to comment on the ongoing investigation. I know that the Altoona Police Department has and will continue to diligently investigate it. I was privileged to be able to work, First Assistant Smith and I, with the Manhattan prosecutors and the New York City Police Department.
Yeah, we don't care about that. What charge?
Local charges, the encounter between the Altoona Police Department and the defendant. The defendant has been denied bail on that case as well, which the Pennsylvania Constitution provides for when the judge finds it appropriate under the circumstances.
So your main goal right now is to have him extradited to New York. That's what you're working for?
Our primary focus is to cooperate with the New York City Police Department and Manhattan District Attorney's Office so this defendant can be prosecuted for his New York homicide charge, yes. Yes, ma'am.
Can you comment on the way he's right now detained in jail, like he's detained by himself?
Hold on.
I defer to the Department of Corrections or whatever institution someone's housed in. I cannot comment on his specific circumstances. Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry if this was already asked. I kind of missed the top, but what stage are you at in securing a governor's warrant? And how long do you expect extradition to take once it's secured?
So we've begun that process. I will say the judge afforded the defense 14 days to file their petition. So.
All right, that guy's boring. I'm going to show you the debunked version real quick. I want you guys, people are still saying, I think it's a professional hit. It wasn't him. Now we know we have DNA, but also I don't think people believe that it's not a vet gun still. And so I just want to put this out on my channel. And I do love this. I don't know if you guys have heard of Runkle before. His name is Runkle. He is a Runkle of the Bailey. Isn't he a lawyer? Anyway, let's listen to him debunk that.
Canadian criminal defense and firearms lawyer. The CEO of UnitedHealth was killed in a brazen public attack that people are properly calling an assassination. But I'm here to debunk the internet's favorite theory about this, which is that this killing was committed by a professional assassin, something like this guy. Okay, let's watch the video. We'll just watch it through. Now, it had original audio, but the audio is actually just of the guy recording a silent screen, so we're going to cut that. But let's just watch the video, and I'll tell you a bit of what we see as we go through it, and then we'll break it down a little further. Okay, so here's the video. We're going to see the guy come from the left side here. He's hiding between two vehicles.
Okay, I'm glad it's censored because I got in trouble for
failed to fire, cycles again. Second shot, struggling a bit with the gun. Third shot, some further fiddling, some further fumbling. And then he's going to depart the scene.
Yes.
And we are told by police that he was later seen fleeing on an electric bike, an e-bike, which appears to possibly have been a rental. Okay, so why are people saying that this was a professional hit? Well, the internet has some theories. The first point that they're noticing here is this. That appears to be a suppressed firearm.
All right, that is not a vet gun, you guys. Now that I see that it's a printed gun, and that makes sense, and they've showed it because they've already showed the gun, which one it is, and it's a 9mm caliber. It makes so much sense. Now, as soon as this video is over, I'm gonna go and check the results for YouTube to see if he is a hero or a villain, and read your guys' comments, and then we'll be done for the night. So, thank you. All right. Stay here so we can finish this up together since you've been here for hours already.
And of course, that's gotten everyone's imagination just running wild. Now, the leading theory out there or the theory that I'm seeing bandied about a lot is that this is either a well rod or a VP9, both of which are bolt action suppressed firearms. And they're sort of they're being posed as like something that uniquely an assassin would own because the VP9 is a $2,000 gun. Okay. I might have to buy one just to further discuss this, but I don't want to spend $2,000 on this. It's not a VP9 and it's not a well rod.
Just
100% it's not. We can see that from the video. How do we see it? Well, this is the first shot. Let's watch this. What do we see there? Well, we see a great big poof of smoke.
Smoke,
baby. See it again. Poof. There we go. And all right. So the VP9 is a bolt action firearm. which means that when you fire it, you have to operate a little bolt there to make it function again.
To
So
make it
what
go.
does it not do? Well, it doesn't do that big poof of smoke. So we have conclusively determined it's not a VP9, which means we're looking at some sort of semi-automatic firearm that was modified with a suppressor and which he's having some difficulty with. Let's watch and we'll see his difficulties. There's a fair bit of struggle here. All right. So he fires, and then he has to manually cycle. He has a misfire, manually cycles, fires, and then
You
he's
can't get it.
struggling with it. Fires
Probably
again.
got.
Now,
it probably
this,
went up.
one
and
of the things the internet is saying is that he picked up all of his brass because he's a professional assassin. Except that he didn't. He's not wearing gloves, and in fact, he left behind 3 spent casings and 3 unfired cartridges.
Yeah, he's getting deep in this. Now, why aren't ghost gun parts manufacturers required to put an identification number on the part? Because that's just how they work their way around the system. When gun manufacturers manufacture a gun, they come in all different parts. It's not one piece. So they've gotten away with being able to go buy just the upper part, and people that are smart or not so smart have figured out how to print the lower half. So the lower half is the part that has the serial number on it. It just hasn't got there. We haven't got to that point. I mean, we're going to find our way around it if we want to. Anybody that wants to do that, wants to go print a gun, they're going to find their way to do it. And they're going to find their way to print an entire one. So that's why they just, yeah, they went their way around it. Jay, I had to go for a ride today all by myself on my scooter. I can't find anyone to ride with. Ashton Lee, I've got a scooter. I would ride with you. Where are you at? Where are you? I'd love to go scooter riding with you. And yes, we've been on since 4 o'clock. Just kidding. All right, let's keep going. I'm almost done, and then I'm going to show you the poll.
And the reason why he's doing that is because he's having a lot of trouble. The gun isn't working the way he was hoping. It's not operating in a semi-automatic fashion. He's having to manually cycle it. What's the problem here? Well, when you've got a semi-automatic handgun, each time you fire it, the actual act of firing it, the bullet going off, makes the slide go back and then forward again. And this chambers another round. This, by the way, is an emptied gun. We've got no magazine in it. It has an empty chamber. We're good. The problem is that when you add a suppressor to it, you are disrupting the sort of ordinary function here. And he may also be using subsonic ammunition, which would also mean that there's less power to operate the firearm. There's a spring in this, and that spring has to be overcome for that to properly cycle. So the weight.
I mean, basically what he's saying, he's getting all scientific here. If you guys know about GUNs or what we've been calling that, they have to be, when someone manufactures it, they have the proper weight of each part. They know which part goes with which, and and manufactured guns have problems too. When you're firing them, if you have ammo that's the lower grade ammo, it will jam its way into your into the barrel when it's supposed to kick itself out. But this literally, oh yeah, Palmdale. I forgot Ashton. I can't remember everybody. Yes, I grew up in Palmdale or Los Angeles area, California, and now I'm in the Bay Area. All right, so he's getting really deep into that. If you're not a gun person, then whatever. He's a little bit over explaining for my taste, but
we'll forgive some of that money you owe if you just go do a thing, or we'll give you some money for meth if you go do a thing. This does not appear to be that, because the guy's got some skill. He doesn't just kind of... If that was the circumstance, I would expect somebody who just kind of walks up to him with an unsuppressed firearm, unloads on him, and runs away, and doesn't really have a plan. Not what we're seeing here. This guy was waiting. He had his target sort of in line. He took some preparation for this.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
The other thing is, if we're talking about the sort of elite level of assassins that really only sort of exist, really that you're talking about a government, not really organized crime. then
they wouldn't have
you think he would
printed
have,
that,
tried the gun out, made sure it was running properly?
Yeah. Well, sometimes, sir, it doesn't run properly no matter what, especially when you have different kind. It seemed like he had a bullet, a hollow point. I don't know if he had a hollow point the whole time without, but they were talking about hollow points. How do you misspell J, Leanne? How do you do that? Yeah, Palmdale does suck now. Palmdale, you guys have a whole different thing going on. Palmdale is garbage now. Everybody from Los Angeles moved into Palmdale because Los Angeles was too expensive, and there's a ton of gangbangers in that area and just run down nonsense. All right, so what he's saying here, what Runkle's saying, is that it wasn't a professional hit, and a professional hit probably wouldn't have consisted of a 3D printed gun or a suppressor. All right, so I'm gonna stop at that, and I'm gonna show you. We're gonna get into the community page because I want you guys to know where the community page is anyway. You guys should know where that is. All right, so let's go on here. You guys are talking about Palmdale, and Palmdale does stink. San Fernando, I was born in that area. I was born in Sunny Valley or Sun Valley or something like that, Los Angeles. So, but I love the area because it's close to Disneyland. All right, on a different topic, we're going to check out the community page real quick. So you guys take a look here. I'll make it myself smaller so you can actually see it. If you guys go on to, and Artemis, I'm glad you're filled with love because I love all of you. My crime crew people are amazing. You guys show up for me every night, every week, every day, all the time, and I appreciate you. I get emails, I get messages all the time with your guys' support. All right. That being said, youtube.com/@guiltyofcrime/community. If you're looking for my page, you just go onto my YouTube page, you click on the community tab, and then you scroll down. All right. So right here it says 2 hours ago, who thinks Luigi is a hero or is he a villain? You guys are back to 30% calling him a hero and 70% calling him a villain. Now, 135 people voted. So it's a pretty, if this were a jury, you guys, we would have a problem with getting an actual conviction or anything, right? All right, you guys, we'd have a problem if it was 30-70. Yeah, hugs, not drugs. I love you guys. Took my meds, tired now. I'm tired. I want to be tired, Rosie. I'm so tired. I want to go to sleep. I love you guys. I'm very tired. And learning about my roof makes me a little bit upset. But all right. You guys keep on supporting the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. Ashton says, I like my little corner of the world. I never have any problems. Yeah, that's good. I have family down that way. All right. Hey, he was a person. End of times near. Molly H. What are we talking about? Are you guys looking at my are you looking there at the poll? 70-30. Oh, look at who came up to visit me, you guys. Oh, my baby. My baby girl. All right, I'm going to read some comments. You guys, let me show you real quick. There's my baby. This is my baby, actually. This one's my pumpkin. She's got a mustache and she needs a haircut, but this is Bowie. This is my little baby. The Yorkies are Tories and Reese's. So there you go. There's my baby. Jay can see you. Night, pill. Say hi to my love. This is my baby, Bowie. Yes, you spelled it right. Oh, I love her. All right, I'm gonna get to the poll. I just want to show you the baby. She came and hopped up on my lap, and I'm in a tall chair right now, so it's pretty adorable that she came to see mommy. All right, my love, my loves. Bowie's a girl, actually. Bowie's my girl. All right, here it is. So 70% think he's a villain, 30% a hero. Mary Lou says, if it were that simple, as I told my daughter, I could cheer on what he did, but I can't celebrate his consequences either. And every revolution starts somewhere because we're fleeced, not just our money, but our lives. All right, ecotherapist says this raised awareness to a very important issue. This even gifted us with a lot of information as a collective, a tragic loss all the way around. I can see both perspectives, but I wouldn't call him a hero. My hope is that some good comes from this, and in no way am I saying this is the right choice, but I believe it will help in a weird way. Awareness is a powerful tool. That gifts exchange. Jules Stock says, although I agree with his anger, I can never condone the big M word. Tony, we can't make him a hero. Think if your wife, mother, or child, or the person he took their life. People need to protest without violence. Carol and McDonald's. Look, I get it. I have a high deductible, 80% of coverage on medical debt, but he took away a father. I'll never celebrate that. All right, Phyllis Touchdown says you're not supposed to take people's lives. I understand how they feel about his mother. I have several neuropathy and I'm not even supposed to be driving. All right, we love you, Phyllis. You're not here. Rosie, I love you. You say total jerk with it. We all do. You had it all. Love you, sweetie. Sweetie says you don't have the right to take anyone's lives. And then we got some replies there. Could that same thought apply to insurance company? Ooh. Posing a question. Sweetie says, yeah, you run your mouth. Got it. And then Mary Lou says, it's the internet. If you're not here for people's opinion, why are you commenting? You're a mess, says Mary Lou to Sweetie. And then Sweetie says, no one has a right to take their life. Just saying. And then Organic Troll said, mentally ill. All right. I see you've been busy behind the scenes, Sweetie. And you know I love you. I support you. You're one of my favorites. All right, you guys, I've talked for almost 3 hours now. Ashton says, I know you were out, but you can throw them up. Hashtag arrest Soto. Yes. You guys, let's do a Jennifer Soto bashing tomorrow. Can we bash Jen Soto tomorrow? All right, let's do that. Let's leave it as, we're going to see this case through of Luigi Mangione. We're going to see how it plays out. We're going to, try to always do the right thing. Stephanie, blah, diddy, blah, love you. Ecotherapy, good night, Jay. Love you, sweetie. Artemis Prime, JJJ. Jay's in the house with Bowie. This is my little love. When you think about me just chilling, just think this one's 4 pounds right here. And she just kind of goes on my shoulder and keeps me warm. So this is my love. This is my love. And she looks scroungy and mangy right now, but usually to my baby. All right, get out of here. All right, I love all my puppies. I just wanted to show you guys my behind the scenes love for my dogs. Julie, love you all. Go. She is perfect. She's my perfect little snuggle bug angel. And yes, I could be the boss and be tough, but I still love my puppies, you guys. All right, you guys, let's have a roast Jennifer Soto day tomorrow. We'll keep up on this. I'll come back when I feel like I have more information. And I deserve dogs. I deserve dogs, Carol. I deserve dogs and kids. All right, Marcy, I love you. I love you guys all. Thank you for being here. Thank all the mods. See you guys tomorrow. Love you. I'm going to go get something to eat because I'm hungry. Have a good night. Mwah.
Guilty of crime.
I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please share this video, like, and subscribe. You can also follow me over at Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, X, or Gmail. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can use Cash App or Venmo or PayPal. Thank you very much in advance. Guilty of crime.
Are you guilty?